Welcome back to the first edition podcast. I'm not sure what week this is. Do you guys know?
6, I think.
6?
Oh.
Is it?
Well, you just completely showed me up.
Yeah. It's because I have to name the thumbnail.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So, no, you got it wrong one week, right? I remember you got it wrong one week. You put it a week ahead. But it's going well. The clips have just been banging. Like we finally got on like a bit of a system with clips. Like maybe we'll still find someone to edit rather than Tom. But I did the thumbnails this week at least, and I scheduled them. That was a good point. I scheduled them, so they just went up automatically.
That's the best kind.
No, it's big. It's big. It's worked out really well. To be fair, people have been clicking them and watching them. It's good fun.
Tom was a superstar this week.
Yeah, man.
We should have thumbnail of the week, shouldn't we?
We should actually. Yeah. Which one banged the most?
Who gets the bang the most? I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
I think I get banged the most.
I think Randy might win that most weeks. But yeah, maybe that's what we should do.
No, he's just gonna start doing all the thumbnails with him in it.
Yeah,
So
just
he
with
wins
him
every week.
And then me and you just in the bottom right, just going, help us.
No, because when Tom sends me screenshots, like all of them are just me, just like Randy. But like, so then
it's because you do some mad expressions in the thing.
Fair.
Like you're like. That's a thumbnail.
There you go. Screenshot that. Also, I saw someone like, "Oh, can you guys like stop talking over each other?" It's so hard on Discord to know when the other person's speaking. So just remember that. Like when me and Simon do our one as well, it's always like, oh, you go. So we're online, guys. We're on the internet, so stuff just happen.
That's not a fair criticism, is it? Like how green?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. You can only talk when you have the can in your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I think in school you have to throw a soft toy to be able to talk.
You can talk now, for goodness sake. Okay. Well, sorry.
There's a big delay
guy who made
as
that
well.
Criticism.
I got a comment, guys. Can I speak?
Go on. Yeah. Tom, you go. You got to say something now.
So ridiculous. Hello.
Oh, for goodness sake! Right. That was pathetic. I do apologise, guys. We are a podcast about Pokemon. And what's the first topic, Randolph?
Shining Fates.
Shining Fates. Okay.
Yeah.
So Shining Fates released.
Have you opened any yet?
No.
Have I opened any yet?
No.
Randolph, have you opened any yet?
I opened some today. Yeah, I got some stick cards. So obviously the set comes out Friday, which is probably the day this will come out. Unless it takes like 15 hours to export, then maybe it'll be Saturday. But Shining Fates, 19th of February. Most people who work with the UK distributor got their deliveries today. So if your local game store, a lot of people got them today. And I did my like 100 pack opening. Got some sick cards. I can show you a few. Tom requested it. I wish I could pull Marnie, but she don't exist, mate. She's just a ghost.
Got Connor's favorite card. Kyogre in the front. Come on.
I got a lot of amazing rares.
Do I see a big dick ditto?
To be fair, I don't even mind the Kyogre. I just mind the fact there's no Groudon.
Yeah, big dick ditto.
That's not focusing, is it?
No.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
But no, it's a nice set. I mean, like you guys know, and probably most people watching, I loved Shining Star V more than I even made videos on it. I would just sit here and open box after box every night. I got too many cards I need to send to you guys for grading. I was like, surely I can't send like 1,000 like baby shinies. So, but yeah, compared to Shining Star V, I feel like it doesn't live up. But that's just English versus Japanese anyway. I was happily surprised. It was much better than I thought it would be. Apart from the fact there's no Marnie.
Well, I remember you having a go saying, "Oh, Tom's got all of the products. I can't get any, and I've got none right now." And you've already opened 100 packs, mate.
Well, put it this way: so we got allocated on everything across the board, and the only product that we didn't oversell was the Pikachu collection box. So we've got excess Pikachu collection boxes. So I was like, right, I'll open some for the channel. We're going to sell some just as normal, but then we're also going to give some away as well to the kids and the parents and that.
You're too nice.
I know.
Honestly, bro, like you're a bit too nice,
box,
man.
Mate.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying you're just a little bit too nice sometimes. Sometimes, like, just be like, yeah, we've got 100 packs and banging it. That's the way.
I know. I need to figure it out as well because I mean, it's okay to be nice, if you just doing what I'm doing on content and that, but also. When you're in a business,
said, and I was just like, nah.
Yeah, you can't be nice in business,
guys.
Nah. That's going to be a banging video for you, though, isn't it? So, Shine. What I would actually like to, because Hidden Fates is. I'm going to speak about your channel now. It was big for you, right? You came in on that, and you were big. You were hitting those videos. They were really fun to watch. I was watching them. I was really enjoying them. Where is Shining Fates on that? Is it going to be Hidden Fates-esque, or is it just like a bit of a copycat?
I think it's definitely a copycat because it is pretty much Hidden Fates 2. In fact, I would rather than call it that than Shining Fates, because the amount of videos where I call it Shining Legends just by mistake, because obviously like it's very similar, and everyone in the comments, oh, he called it like Shining Legends. I'm like, this is just a mistake, guys. I know what the sets are called. I'm sorry, all right. My apologies. But it is a Hidden Fates clone. But what I think they did smart, and I think we spoke about this last week, is they filled it with Gen 8 Pokemon. Which a lot of people listening will not like that because they want Gen 1. But I think for the health of Pokemon going forward, you have to bring in these new Pokemon. We said like Sword and Shield, third biggest selling game of all time, Pokemon, right? And even if you do count, there's more people, alive now, which is a stupid argument anyway. It still sold that, right? It doesn't matter who's alive. Like people's favorite Pokemon is Centiskorch, Double, blah blah blah. So it's good in that regard. The difference for me though is that when I came onto this channel or my channel and started doing Hidden Fates, it was already out. So I didn't have like the release date, and I didn't have like all the stress that comes along with that. I know Pokemon was in a different space back then. But the one thing put me off this set, Shining Fates, is the fact that the release is just, for whatever reason, it's just stressful. So it's like, I'm not I'll open these packs here. I'll open as much as I can for the channel, but it doesn't feel the same. Yeah, I'm like, can you just get me onto the next set? Because this is just a stressful set, which is what I don't like about running the stores, because every set's starting to become that. Which is why I like the Japanese stuff, because it's like a safe haven for me to go and enjoy that personally. So yeah, I think it's definitely like the step in the right direction. I don't think it'll be Hidden Fates long term, just because there's no like Mewtwo in it, there's no like Ho-Oh in it, etc. But I think it's good to let these Pokemon shine.
I think Hidden Fates, looking back at it, I think in collectors in 10 years time, if they were like younger, like 16, 18, I think they'll come back to Hidden Fates.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Did you just drop a pun?
What did you say?
You said it's time to let these Pokemon shine.
Oh, shiny Pokemon in Hidden Fates. Illuminati confirmed, Connor.
No idea. Was that even a pun? Right. Okay. Right.
It's called Shining Fates. I need to Channel Legends. Oh my god, I nearly did a round off.
I do apologise, guys. Right. So then, Shining Fates. Right. So you got all these Gen 8 Pokemon and some dirty Kyogre in there for some reason. Right. So you got all these Gen 8 Pokemon, and I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the strength and the power of all these new Pokemon, Sword and Shield being third. Blah blah blah. But do you think they're in a way pushing away the older group of collectors, or not pushing away, but maybe they're trying to disincentivize them to be Hidden Fates because they know that they don't have the supply? I mean, I don't know whether that's part of it.
I'm going to say no, because there's a Charizard shiny VMAX in there.
Yeah,
that's always going to be there. And like, even people on my Discord, like I know people who don't know anything about Gen 8, but they're still going to open like 5,000 packs or whatever they can get, because just to want to get a Charizard. Yeah. And in that pack mentality is always going to be in Pokemon. And that's why Modern, I think, will always continue to do well, because even though you can go and buy the shiny Charizard for like £500, which is not cheap, by the way, but you can do that instead of going and buying like £1,500 worth of packs. But that feeling of packing it yourself and sending it to you guys and getting graded yourself is the best feeling, right? Like to have like a first owner card, that's what Josh does. He wants to get like first owner cards. He'll pay the premium to get that rather than buying a slab already. So I think that's a big part of it. And I think, if Charizard's in there, if Ditto's in there, if Lapras is in there, that's enough. But at the same time, I think the reason they've done this is because Hidden Fates is still around, isn't it? Like, they're still reprinting it. It's still here. Like, Hidden Fates is dropping the same time as Shining Fates, roughly a week or two in terms of the reprint. And that will sell just as fast as Shining Fates will, if not more still. So it's like, if they're there, why would they do another Hidden Fates? They might as well just do Gen 8 and still sell all, Hidden Fates. You know what I'm saying?
If they did like a Hidden Fates with the old different Gen 1, Gen 2 Pokemon, it would just be a worse set, because they've already used a lot of the strong Pokemon from those eras in Hidden Fates. No, it's a good point, to be fair. I think they're going to continue with the Fates.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be something we're going to see every 2 years, because it has been their best product launch in modern times. So I think they're going to continue it. Shining Fates, I can already see it. Thank goodness we're closing on the 19th, because my God.
Yeah, we closed on release day.
Yeah, we that wasn't by accident. We know it's going to be manic, but it's going to be cool seeing them all, apart from that dirty fish. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing them. What? I'm allowed to put my opinion out there.
I'm allowed to think your opinion's bullshit.
Bloody hell.
What do you think is better in terms of the actual, the main set, Hidden Fates or Shining Fates, not including the shiny vault or the, whatever they're called?
A lot of the Shining Fates cards, I think as a main set, I think Hidden Fates is better because it's just Gen 1, isn't it? It's strictly Gen 1 only. Which
Hidden
I think
Fates
is
so dull though, because it's like a Pinsir GX.
Well, so is.
Hyper?
Shiny Face doesn't have that. It's got like Al Creamy secret rare, and that doesn't feel as good as packing the Moltres, because even though like often when you do pack that Moltres, you're a little bit disappointed because it's not a shiny vault card, but at the end of the day, it's still a sick Moltres, so it's like win-win. Whereas you get an Al Creamy VMAX, you're like, that is sick when I've pulled it once, but then every time I keep getting it, it's like, all right, can you go home now?
Is that the proper chase card then of the base set?
Yeah, that's what's annoying, because there's Ball Guy, there's Chairman Rose, there's Piers, right? But there's no Marnie. If they had Marnie in Shining Fates, there would have been a. But I think, to be honest, though, I think the reason they've done it as well, now I'm thinking of it, is because it's so easy to pull. Like the full arts in, the full arts in that set are easy to pull. Yeah.
So do you think that'll come out in like, maybe not Battle Styles, but whatever the set is after? Do you think they'll have the full art Marnie there?
They have to put it somewhere, don't they? I mean, we spoke last week about it being a collection box, maybe, which could be a smart idea. But then sometimes collection boxes can devalue the card as well, right? Because there's so much of them out there. So, you know, and that chase of getting Marnie is what drives people to. I mean, Charizard being the shiny VMAX, that's what drives sales, isn't it? I mean, probably if you didn't have Charizard, you'd probably lose like 500% sales. You know, like that card alone drives the rest of the whole setup.
That's a good question. Do you think Pokemon should have done that? Do you think maybe they should have gone? Nah, sod Charizard this time around. He was the main player in every single set since what we've had Vivid Voltage, where he's been in every single set recently, hasn't he? Easily, apart from Rebel Clash. So since Rebel Clash, he's been in every single set. Could they have gotten away with not including him in Shining Fates and having some other Gen 1, Gen 2 chase card? Maybe a Lugia.
No, that's not Gen 1.
Yeah, or Gen 1, Gen 2, I said.
I would have liked the Blastoise or the Venusaur.
Yeah, they need more Blastoise and Venusaur love, I think.
Yeah.
Even if they did that, the shiny Venusaur, shiny Venusaur VMAX, shiny Blastoise VMAX, as well as those two. As well as Charizard. But I think the issue with Sword and Shield, I think they couldn't have done it this time around, because in Sword and Shield, Charizard's such a big character in the game. Like he's like Leon's Charizard, like he's in the anime as well, a huge character. So it makes sense within Sword and Shield to have him, in Champion's Path, in Shining Fates. I mean, remember that he's not in Champion's Path in Japan. Like the way they intended it was just to be in Shining Star V. So he's only in that set in Vivid.
Could you imagine Champion's Path without the Charizards?
Yeah,
it was a dead set anyway. But if you took those 3 Charizards out, you'd have loads of it in stock though. That's
you would have loads. Yeah, we could have kept the price as low as possible.
These do look nice in that set.
They do. Yeah.
I know that nobody cared about them because it was all about the Charizard, but the Gardevoir.
Yeah, Gardevoir looks really nice. Grab locked. Yeah, that set would have struggled. I think, and that shows you Pokemon know what they're doing, because they identified that. They knew that set was doomed. So what will they do? We'll pull in this card. Obviously people like to speak of like the Japanese side and the English side as if like they don't communicate. You know what I mean? Like obviously they are different companies. At the end of the day, like you got the Pokemon Company and then the Pokemon Company International, and obviously they have to do things differently. But they do have to work in tandem. Otherwise, it wouldn't work, right? So
they're using the same arts. They're using the same arts, so they move over to the set. They obviously talk about when things are releasing, because obviously if they release something in English like earlier, then that's a big problem. Because obviously it obviously must be very important to Japanese customers that they are the first. Because I mean, it is Japanese, it is a Japanese product, so that must be something that's important to them. It's interesting hearing your views on Shining Fates, because obviously it's such a big thing in Hidden Fates. And I think, with the stock problems as well, there's no doubt it's going to be a huge success.
Great success.
Great success. And
I think as well with Shining Fates is look how long Hidden Fates has lasted, right? This is what I try and tell people. Like, I know it sucks. Like in my video I filmed today as well, I said to Laura, like, do I really want to be filming like 100 packs when like people are struggling to get cards? And I was like, no, but at the end of the day, I can't not film footage. I have to put footage out. I have to film stuff, and people want to watch that. I can't jeopardize it.
You're sharing it though.
Exactly.
You're sharing the content. People will enjoy you eating it. Will enjoy you opening it. Will enjoy watching you opening it.
Yeah, it's not even just watching it. Like it's part of the whole experience of opening a pack in it, because you're still going, I wonder what card is in this pack.
And like people will turn to like people who are waiting to get their card. It's like, oh yeah, it sucks. Maybe we've seen him get so much, but at the end of the day, I do own a store. Like I do. I do have a lot of resources to go and buy a lot of Pokemon products. There's nothing wrong with me opening a lot of packs if I want to. And that's something I will speak about later in the podcast as well.
But you get to share that experience with so many more people as well. Like it'd be different.
Someone wants to watch that,
your own shop. Yeah, it's still giving back. Because you get to see your reaction live as well.
Well, that's the whole point of like YouTube and TV. And I don't watch Top Gear going, I can buy that Ferrari, that Lamborghini, that McLaren. I just want to see them. I just want to hear them. Like,
and at the end of the day, the reason I started doing the 100 packs is so I can do like show people the pull rates. You know what I'm saying? Someone can think, oh, he's opened
Yeah.
100 packs. What can I expect in that roughly? So it's like, I do that at the start very set. Like Darkness of Blaze, Vivid, whatever. Well, Vivid was 1,000 and that like killed me off. But but I think what I'll say to people is my main point is that just be patient. Like, look how long Hidden Fates has been around. Like, that set is been printed into the ground and it's still successful. Shining Fates will be around, in a year or so. There'll still be stuff around. There'll be a reprint somewhere. The only worry I've got for Pokemon is that like what set are they going to stop having to reprint? They can't. Everything's reprintable. Everything since Sword and Shield base is reprintable. Like, it needs a reprint. So like, it must be hard for them to forecast it because they don't know when their stinker's going to be, and it's not battle styles. That's sold out to on a lot of pre-orders to the many stores.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be any set in the next 12, 18 months. Really, realistically, from my perspective, that's just an opinion. But for me, I don't think there's going to be any bad set. I think the worst they'll get is Rebel Clash levels. But like you said, it's still sold well. It's still interesting. People still wanted it. I don't think they'll be anywhere near any as bad as that.
Yeah, if you compare Rebel Clash with, I don't know, Crimson Invasion or Steam Siege or something,
it's different level.
And even now, Steam Siege is like skyrocketing now because people look at it and go, "Oh, that's a nice full art." And in time, people forget.
Yeah.
People do forget.
I really like the set icon. To be fair,
it is nice.
I really, I know that's
We're
a
all
weird
hypocrites,
thing
bro.
to say.
We're
I'm like,
hypocrites.
yeah,
The one that looks exactly the same as, is it Ancient Origins? Like, it looks very similar.
Very similar. Yeah, I used to get confused back when I was collecting them.
Yeah.
It's so similar. But I think Shining Fates is
remember what I
going to do
wanted.
great. They're going to reprint it, I'm sure. But I think maybe one thing I wanted to talk about in the podcast today, and I added it to the list, is the difference between the title here is collector versus investor versus flipper. And I want to speak about this a lot because recently I've been having troubles with my content, people saying, oh, he's putting his prices too high, or on the same hand, oh, he's opening too many packs, or all this other stuff. And it's like, I'm finding it hard to manage all those aspects. And I don't think I should have to worry about, I buy a lot of cards and I'll sell a lot of cards. At the same time, I collect. At the same time, I'll hold some cards. You know what I'm saying? I think those three categories, collector, flipper, investor, we are all of them, right? And if you're any one of them, you're also the other one without even meaning to. So you could be a collector and you'll flip to make money so you can buy the card that you want, right?
Yeah.
You'll invest by mistake because you'll keep cards over like a 5-10 year period. And and if you're a flipper, you'll still, you'll keep a card. All those three things work in tandem. It just depends which one you are.
Depends which one you want to brand yourself as well. Like, some people will like take pride in the fact they're flipping stuff. They'll be like, oh wow, cool, I just got this and I banged it off, got 50 quid. Oh, I've bought this, and and that's fine. And then there's other people who are collectors. They're like, I don't really care. I'm here for the artworks. If I get some nice cards in my binders, I get some graded. I don't actually get everything graded though because I just want some things. And then you got the investor who's like, I only want Gem Mint 10s. They are the things I want, or whatever else. I'm not an investor, or that and that. But I think the difference is now, I don't think investors were around before this because the money wasn't enough to attract them. At the end of the day, an investor is someone who has a bit of money behind them and they're able to drop 20k. If you could drop 20k on Pokemon in March, you would have made a lot of money now. But also it didn't make a lot of sense because you'd already had to have predicted COVID and this whole market that happened.
Which is literally impossible, yeah.
I would say investor is a very new term for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because there's two ways to think of it, right?
Like Scott SM Pratt. Like, he's probably the only person who would class himself as an investor because of like...
Yeah, there's a few of the big players in that regard who do that. But again, I think there's a difference between being an investor and investing your money into cards, right? That's another big difference. I think a lot of the YouTube stuff you see on a not Scott SM Pratt level it's a lot of short term. So it's flipping, but over like a space of a year. Obviously, if you're looking at investment, what you're looking at? You're looking at locking down a card for the next 10 years, right? Long term, whereas... you buy a card 1 year and sell it the next year. It's technically a flip. And I think also the reason I want to talk about this is because I feel like a lot of negativity is always put on the flipper, right? And also on the investor. Someone says, "Oh, I'm investing in Pokemon cards." People laugh at him like, "Oh, what are you trying to do? That's stupid, mate. Just be a collector." Like, I think these three things you should respect each level of them. And the difference is, scalping is different to flipping. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between scalping and flipping, and I feel like people need to understand that. There's nothing wrong with someone out there starting a business, buying and selling Pokemon cards. Everyone's in the right to do whatever they want to with their money. They can buy anything they want to, and they can sell anything they want to. I see a lot of people,
I would say before this, flipping wasn't really, you wouldn't call someone out for being a flipper. Like they just bought a card, they saw an opportunity and they sold it out for more, and you just go, all right, fair play. Like, and that, you know, that's fair enough. Like, I'd say it's the culture that's behind it that's different. Like, like you say, all these YouTube channels popping up who are just about the flip, you know, it's a culture there that didn't exist before, like PS5 and stuff. Like, whereas making the most from your money, I would say still is investing, because you've still got a long-term overall business plan. So if you were like, I've got these cards, but I'm going to sell them for definite because then I'm going to buy this card, I would still call them a collector/investor.
Yeah.
Like, because there's nothing wrong with buying and selling cards quickly. It's just the fact, are you still giving to the hobby? Are you still, you know, collecting cards? Do you still have a passion? It's people who are just flipping. That's the difference. Like, people who are like, I will buy this to make a profit and make a profit in like a month or two. There is a distinct difference, but it's hard sometimes to distinctly, you know, work out who those people are.
Yeah, and again, you know, sorry, go on.
What would you class yourself as?
I say collector always at heart. You know, I'm a collector because I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. You know, if I was a investor, I'd go and invest in something else. You know, if I was a flipper, I'd go and flip. I would go and create a business. You know, I'd go and dropship something, or I'd figure out a better idea.
So funny if Randolph, when he asked that, just went, "I'm a flipper."
I'm a scalper.
But no, like, I mean, but flipping is a big thing that I do. I mean, I run a business where we literally buy, you know, wholesale products and then sell them. That literally, you know, in terms of what people, you know, say, oh, he's just a flipper. That I do flip. I'm a flipper at the end of the day. You know, that's what business is, right? Buy and sell. That's the whole point.
Yeah, no, I would compare it to Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
Like, I made a killing off that. I'm not going to lie. What I did is I bought all the sealed boxes, got all the Charizard GXs. He opened every single pack there was. I graded them all, got them back, sold every single one of them. I did not want to keep any of those. What I did is I bought the cards I did want. So my Blastoise EX, my Gengar EX, stuff like that. That could be considered as pure flip. But I then had the other tone of, actually, what I'm doing with that money is reinvesting. So it's a difficult
and not
balance.
Reinvesting to make money either. Like, it's reinvesting into the hobby. There's a difference between, I'm buying ABC stock, which I think is actually Alphabet stock, Google stock, and just then going, oh no, I'm investing my time, my money, and like everything I do into the hobby.
Yeah,
it's really difficult at the moment out there to class people, and I think the problem is everyone's so opinionated. You know, your YouTube comments must be full of it. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got people from all angles. So,
and like I'm all of those things, right? Like by default, like I'm all of those things, no matter what percentage you want to put down to. And I think we all are, because we do those. You know, you can, like I say, you can invest in cars without being an investor. You can flip cars without being a flipper. But again, there's a big difference between scalping something. You know, scalping something is going and setting up, you know, bots, or going waiting outside Toys R Us and taking like 150 boxes off the shelf, putting it on Facebook, and then selling it for like, you know, double retail after you bought it for retail. You know, whereas I see a lot of people who go out and buy, like, you know, someone will go and buy 30, you know, Shining Fates ETBs, right? And that, in my opinion, you know, they're within their right to do that. If they want to open those boxes, crack them, send them to PSA, or send them to get graded, and then open them, or then just sit on them, like, you know, whatever you agree with, like, you can do that. The scalping, in it, like the negative side of scalping is going to buy something and just make money off that without
value add, without even value adding. You know, you're opening the packs, you're taking the risk, you're taking a gamble. You might go and grade them, but you then, on the same side of things, you might be like, well, I can sell these ones raw and get some money back from that, and then you take a profit. That's just, you're right, it's just business, right? I think sometimes people label people flippers out of jealousy. That's defo a thing. Like, they've gone, oh, you've just flipped that. And you know, it's kind of jealousy thing, because you were able to get it, and not you necessarily, but you know, someone else was able to get it, and that other person wasn't. So they just go, oh yeah, you just flip that. That's all you care about. All you care about is the money.
Scalping is different in the way that it's like you're taking away a public opportunity, and also, you know, you're morally in the wrong. Like, you know, you're being a dick if you're being a scalper. If you're buying, like, as you said, 30 ETBs, I'd do anything now to buy 30 ETBs of Shining Fates to open it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Randolph's
exactly.
moral compass is so nice that he feels wrong just opening 100 packs of Shining Phase, man. So,
Well,
like, he can't do any of that.
Yeah, it gets to the point where like everything I say on my channel or everything I want to do, I mean it all. I'm like I say, I care about what I do and I care about the customers, but at the same time, like, I shouldn't also apologize for going and buying cards to grade to sell. Like what you know, so I'm trying to like point out to people watching and also just chat to you guys is like. You know, because there's so many different areas of YouTube, right? You'll go to Unlisted Leaf, you'll see him just opening cards, right? Modern cards. Then you'll go to Z&G Emporium, who's buying out collections and selling them. And I'm like, well, I do both of those things, you know. And then, you know, is Z&G a bad guy? No, he's just buying cards, selling cards, you know.
Definitely not. He's actually really good guy.
He literally calls it Zed's Flips though, or Z's Flips.
New channel, Z's Flips.
So
yeah,
like
man.
he literally calls it
version.
that.
Zed's Flips.
Zed's Flips. But he literally like he is saying, you know, I'm doing this to make money, and you know, I don't think you should. It's not a bad thing necessarily altogether. And actually, it helps the market. You know, if everyone was just hoarding everything and keeping it, either collecting or investing, there wouldn't be a market. So there's still opportunities out there. I guess you're right. It's the morals of it. You know, if it feels wrong, like Randolph, if you got.
To be fair, not if you're Randolph's morals. He thinks everything's wrong.
No, but if Randolph got his allocation and he went to everyone, sod all of you, I'm keeping these myself. That would be wrong, I would say. But if he was I need some of these for the content for my channel, so I'm sorry, some of you people, but you ordered later on, but you will get it. Well, I wouldn't say that's particularly wrong in my opinion.
There's been some lashback against some of the card shops on Facebook because they've sent emails out saying we've received a smaller amount of our allocation, so we're holding it all and we're not sending out any boxes, any pre-orders. Multiple card shops have said that.
And I know customer service has been bad from them. You know, I think they were saying on Facebook, you know, go email the store, and someone will email the store, and then someone will say, "Oh, I'm not at the office. I don't know how many we've got." I'm like, "Well, right." Whereas for Pokemon, I mean, it might be a smaller scale because we got less stock, but I emailed everyone personally. I just sat there and emailed everyone, spoke to them and said, like, "Look, your product's going to be delayed." Yeah, and also just to make it clear as well, any pack that I've opened from Shining Fates, we haven't sold it yet, right? So like. ETVs, we oversold ETVs. I have not touched a single ETV. I won't even see them. You know, Laura's took delivery of them, and tomorrow, well, the day we're filming this, tomorrow, Laura will ship them all out to whoever pre-ordered them. You know, same with the tins. I'll not have a single tin. I won't see a single tin. The only thing we have got more of is the Pikachu box. You know, because we sold X many pre-orders, and we've received more of that than we got of the ETVs, right? So that's what I'm opening, and I'm giving them away. We're literally giving them away to kids, like. We'll sell some, I'll open some, so it is what it is. But it's just annoying for me right now to be like, you know, what annoys me is that I try and do the right thing, right? Because I want to do the right thing. And you get so many comments anyway, like, oh, how can you say this when you just go and buy a case of McDonald's promo? And I'm like, bro, like, you got
the right thing in everyone's eyes.
Yeah.
On YouTube comment section.
So it's like, I'm just do my best. But also I think it's a good thing to talk about anyway, because I feel like there's so many different opinions in Pokemon. And like, I can see someone getting into the game, right? Like, wanting to buy and sell cards, but also collect and invest. It's like, you know.
Because of how open you are, you're always going to be open for criticism. Like, because, you know, you actually speak more than you should. Like, you're more transparent than you need to be. It's the same. It's like the same policy that we do here, right? And, you know, I believe it's always the right thing to do in business, because if you're fully transparent, if someone's got a criticism, then you just go, fair enough. You're allowed to say that. Yeah. And that's cool, but I might disagree with you. And we speak about this a lot. The art of disagreement has gone. Like, people can't. Just in general, like if me and you had a disagreement, like that's fine. Me and Tom disagree on basically everything. But that art of disagreement is just gone. Like, people can't just leave it. They seem to get like a bug, or they get annoyed. Like, they feel like it's a personal attack. And sometimes it's just, actually, we decided to do this for this reason. However, there were negatives to that, and we apologize to that. But that's all you can do. You can't what's the word, have your cake and eat all of it. You can't just be like, oh, we can do this and this and this and this. Sometimes you have to make compromises in business. We do here. You know, there's never going to be a point here where
we agree on anything.
Yeah.
That's it's like for you. Point A, point B, point C, resolution. It's never like point A, point A, point A, point A, falter, just give up. Like, that's that. Yeah, people are just dumb. People are like, well,
what?
No, because people are like, well, it's my opinion. If you disagree with it, you are wrong. No, shut up.
Yeah. But I have good phone calls with people sometimes, and they're so someone was not ringing up to complain, but he disagreed with the fact that we stayed open, in November, and we should have stopped accepting. I was like, you're not fair enough. You're allowed to say that, but I was like, but we want to give the opportunity to as many people as possible before the end of the year and the potential price rises to get their cards out. So, and he was like, yeah, that's fair enough, but at the same time, it has caused delays for everyone. I was like, yeah, it has. And but sometimes being that transparent does open yourself for that criticism, and that's the same for you. So
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I would rather not, right? Like, I mean, I literally anything I do or anything we put on like PokerRun or how we operate as a business is because like it's the right thing to do, and we couldn't sleep at night if we didn't do that. If we weren't transparent, we could. And Laura's the same as well. It's exactly the same as me. Like we can't run this business unless we are transparent because we didn't get into it to make money, right? If I wanted to make money, I'd go and start a different business. Like in fact, the sealed product game is not even a business that I would even recommend right now because like you can't scale it. You get to we're at a point now where like. To be fair, the business has just stopped, right? We buy a product and we sell it to like a small amount of people, whereas realistically, like you can't scale that. So we'll work on a few things, but yeah, I mean, it would be better for me if I did shut my mouth and I was one of the people who go and buy boxes for 15K, sell the packs for 50,000 total on a box break and just get the profit, reinvest that, blah 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 blah. People do that right now and they're well loved, Whereas when I'm more transparent, when I'm more honest and say it how it is. I'll get more disagreements than that person will get when they're actually scamming people publicly.
It's because they don't put the opinions out there, right? So because they're just not saying anything, there's nothing to disagree with, which is awful. Like I
plausible deniability.
It's something that it's something that it's just wrong, really. And I get it. I get it because at the end of the day, you can profit massively from it, especially right now. You can sell any Pokemon card for any price. So therefore, you can get away with it. And it's the same with grading. If we wanted to, we could just be like, get your cards in, get over it. Yeah. Like, that's how you could operate. And, it's just not the right way to operate, though. And I fully agree with you and back the things that you do. Actually, I've really enjoyed the PokerRand video where you were talking about the allocations. Because you were just straight up truthful.
Yeah, it's the best way to go, right?
Yeah.
You brought up something just about people buying a box and making a load of money off it. Imagine buying a box for $350,000 and then selling the packs for $1 million.
That was good.
Yeah, great segue. Yeah, Tom's the man. Tom's the segue man for that. You actually you need to come on the podcast with a segue in the back and just drive around on it. Yeah, but yeah, Logan Paul now has I guess caused the first ever $1 million Pokemon booster box. Pack sold. Did you guys see my video where I was speaking about buying one?
Yeah, well, trying.
Yeah, try to buy one. Yeah. So let's just get it up on the screen for those who don't know. I mean, there's no way anyone's watching this podcast if they haven't heard about Logan Paul's box break. But we'll talk about it to give context. Oh, he's Jake Paul's brother, man. Wait, my transition didn't work. Is this not gonna...
The guy who beat Gibb.
There we go. So here we go. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, we can see it.
So here we go. We've got Logan Paul's box break right here. Somewhere on 0. I'm not sure what happened there necessarily, but as you can see, the highest end.
Are those 43,000 the ones he took off for the crypto?
No, they were never on.
Oh, okay.
So I know who won this one, and this 13 was the one I was bidding on originally, but I got outbid quick.
The most expensive one.
Yeah, I can't believe it, man. What my odds? What are the odds? Because I actually
24.
Thanks. Literally, exactly. So yeah,
he does that to me so often. It annoys me.
It's good for the audience. 43,000 top, right, and bottom is 36,000. Yeah, 36,000, but that's including buyer's premium. So if you had a 36, Tom, you can get my maths here, $30,000 bid, right? If you win that and you got a 20% premium, that is 36, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Even I can do that one.
Yeah. So
that's plus VAT, mate. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I know it. That's the only reason I know it. This is what I bid on. I bid $30K. That was my final bid. And I lost it because I bid on the higher ones. And there was 12, right? So there was 24 packs up, 12 sold for higher than 30,000. So literally, again, I had a 50% chance of winning, and I just bid on the wrong one. But I think I'm glad, to be honest. I think I'm glad I'm not involved this time around.
Because you actually bid, I would like to ask, what do you think of this way of selling the packs? Because obviously, people are paying different amounts for the same thing, in effect. Yeah. Like and it, it's the same chance for everyone. There's no difference. They're cracking up a box. There's no what I don't personally. I know I get that you get the chance, but you are charging a different price for the same product.
Oh, I didn't like it. Yeah. I said last week I hated it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think from sorry.
No. Would you consider doing it like this way, or because you could have a bidding, because then you would get true market value, and you do say sometimes that that's not your strong point, is trying to work out what people will pay for stuff. So maybe could you do this sort of system, because then you could really see
booster boxes.
no. Because then you could really see what are people willing to see. Because you were totally transparent. You spoke to your customers and you were like, you're not going to make a profit here. So if you were totally transparent in that way, would this system work?
I think it works for Logan more than anybody else, right? Because two reasons. One, because he'll make more money, because literally FOMO is a part of it. Like the bidding mentality, the whole eBay aspect is I'm sure you both have bid on stuff on eBay. You've gone over your max amount of money just because you wanted to beat the other person. It's like, it's who's got the bigger wallet, really. But it's just a fight, right? So I think on Logan's side, right, look at me, right? If I do a box break, I'm gonna get so many people out there saying, oh man, this sold for this on Facebook, he's charging that, it's ridiculous, even though what we're doing, and it does sound very like narcissistic in a sense, but we are providing like an entertainment to however many thousands of people, and the people who buy the packs from the breaks enjoy it. They want me to open their pack and shout their name out. It's not even about the shout out what it will do for them. It's about just me saying, oh, Great Gem, I'm opening your pack right now. It's exciting, right? Like I did it with Logan's. yeah, literally.
We did it, yeah. 100%.
We did it with Logan's and with your pack.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that's what people understood when I was talking about the box breaks and how I'm going to start lowering the price and stuff. I said to them, I bought an $11,000 pack from Logan Paul, and it did well for me on after the fact. But I didn't know it was going to do that. I didn't know I was going to make the money back. I didn't know I was going to get all the subscribers from it. I didn't know I was going to get content from it. I just thought I want to get involved in this, and I want Logan Paul to be like, oh, I got a pack from Randolph, because the KSI like tie-ins as well. So I think I have so much trouble pricing my box because there is added value to it no matter what, right? Like, and people say to me, if I'm being ruthless and I'm being like a ruthless businessman, and someone says, oh, the price is too high, I can get it for £400 on Facebook. I'll say, well, on eBay. I'll be like, well, go and buy it on eBay then. If you want it, buy it on there. But there are people who want to buy this from me. Then that's what we're doing.
That's why I would say you do have an added value, because at the end of the day, it's not just. So if we did it on our YouTube channel, you're going to get a lot less people viewing the pack. Like, there are a lot less people, it's the whole live chat, it's the whole suspense, everyone's watching, seeing what you're going to get. Are you going to get the Charizard or whatever? And it's a lot of fun. By the way, I might just add, we got bargains according to that. Fairy doll, well done. But I think an interesting point, actually, that I did see on Instagram being spread around was, this is now gone up in price for marketing reasons, not because of the pack. Like, because Logan Paul charges like $50,000 for like a simple story on Instagram, right? I think.
Probably more, to be honest.
So he's making bank, whereas on that, you're getting your name shouted out. It's exciting. And if we got the Charizard base set first edition and he shouted Connor David, Greedy Jam, and we got the Charizard, or Randolph Pokemon got the it would have been so big.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when I originally heard about Logan doing another one, I was like, I'm not bothered. I've done my one. This one's not going to be as big. It's not going to have as big an impact as it did for me the first time. I said to you guys, my interest in first edition base hasn't gone up at all. I mean, it's probably gone down, to be honest, since then. I honestly don't care about that set. Yes, obviously, I'd love to have a first edition Charizard. I'd love to have any holo out of there, but I wouldn't go and pay the value for them because they're not worth it to me. What is worth it to me is having the event, right? So then, Cal Freezy, Simon both said to me, oh, you've been stupid. You need to get a pack no matter what. You have to be involved. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? You're totally right. Like, it's gambling at the end of the day. But imagine if I get a pack and I do get the Charizard, more than I want the card itself, more than I want the grade with Logan Paul in it. I want that moment of me packing the Charizard, content everywhere, headlines, Randolph pack this. It's good for me. You know what I'm saying? That's what the risk is. And that's why I ended up bidding so high, because the value added to that, it's not about the pack. And like in my breaks, it's still about the pack, right? Base set pack or fossil first edition. People want to get the card at the same time. With Logan, I mean, as you guys saw, like you can get a Clefairy doll and it can still have a positive impact on whatever it is. And I'm not even buying a pack. I'm just buying a chance to go on Logan's stream and attach my name to the event. But again, on his side of it.
But that's how it worked so well for you last time. And like you said, it has worked for US graded gem as well. It got a name out there.
Yep.
Like it is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
And I'll let you finish your point, but I've got a big question for you anyway.
Yeah, keep it on there, because when I do that, I always forget what I'm going to say. I don't want to interrupt you. But so on Logan's side of it, it's a long answer to the question. Right. So if I'm doing a box break, how do I first of all get out of being person to blame, right? If my prices are too high, put it on auction. But also, how then do I make more money? Put it on auction, because then it's like, right, I'm not saying I'm gonna do it. Maybe I will one day, but I'm not planning to. But Logan will say, right, here are the prices, right? I'll set them at 10 grand. And if they go for 10 grand, which they wouldn't have never gone for that, it still makes 360k on a box he may have got for 400 or whatever happens, right? It's still gonna make money on his promotion. Still gonna make money on his stream. He's already made money before he's even sold a pack. But then if they end for that, it's fine. But if they go crazy like they've done and go for over $1 million or $1.5 million, then it's like, right, well then I no one can blame me for putting the price at $40,000, because I guarantee if he did that and put his price at $40,000, he would have got hate from everyone. You'd have articles everywhere, Logan Paul scamming people. But what he's done now is said, look, do that so he can clear his name, and also he can get more money out of it. So from his end, and to be fair, like as much as there's been a lot of disagreements between Logan and KSI in the past, etc., and what side you're on. I think that's gone now. I think both people can respect each other for what they've done. But on my end, like Logan Paul has literally smashed every single like thing he's done in Pokemon, and he's actually done it respectfully as well. And I want to point that out. I'm not sure if you guys saw his or my video where I included his Instagram video, or you saw his Instagram video anyway. Like he literally came out and said, like, guys, please do not let this affect the Pokemon, market price and the hobby, because I said this in my video as well. I can see what's going to happen. $1 million base first edition box is now going to affect the price of Shining Fates, because you're going to get YouTubers or scammers or people on Facebook, scalpers like flippers.
That's what I want to ask.
Yeah.
Is the next base set first edition box worth $1 million?
No.
No. What? No. This is good.
Yeah.
Why is it so? But I mean, I know that we're saying it's for the marketing and everything else, but right, one sold publicly for $1 million. So that's happened, and Logan Paul's name is attached to it. Fine, but realistically, the item itself has sold for $1 million. So I'm going to play devil's advocate here. If I'm buying that for any less than $1 million, I've seen those packs go for that much.
Yeah.
So I could be like, well, why would I sell it for less? It's gone there. And if Logan Paul wants to buy this off me for $1 million and sell it for $2 million, not my problem. Like, the market's there. So therefore, why if I had one, why would I sell it for less than $1 million?
My argument would be, if I could buy a replica Iron Man suit for 10 grand or $11,111, right, and it's like it's a movie prop, but it was never worn by Robert Downey Jr., and then the Robert Downey Jr. one was $45,000, I'd want the Robert Downey Jr. one. I like it's the celebrity behind it that matters. It's the game worn jersey of footballer, I don't know, Messi or something. It's not just a replica. It's not just some random item from someone's closet. This is Logan Paul's box.
Yeah. No, that's very correct.
Yeah. And not even that, right? I think that on its own would have enough value to sell this box for what it did, but also you get your card expedited with PSA. You guys know how valuable that is right now. I mean,
that is worth $40,000.
I mean, no, but realistically, if you get a Charizard, right, in that pack, you get the holo, and they grade it there and then straight away, and then you get the Logan Paul stamp on it, you can go and sell that straight away and make the money. Like, no matter what, if I join Logan Paul's like break, right, and I spend 40 grand for a pack, and he doesn't have that service, I still have to go and send it to PSA, however long that may take. I can try and do the biggest service possible. I can walk it in, but I still have to go and do that, right? But so that's an obstacle from getting your money back. If you are going to go and buy it, get the attention from it, sell it, then now you can, because they're going to grade it straight away. So that's one thing. Him putting on the label on it is another thing. But also the NFT, like, it came with a collectible. And this is bigger than a lot of people think it is. And I actually now I'm starting to read more about NFTs and learn about them more. I actually wish I bought my price up just so I could own this only. This is the NFT, right? It's like a digital collectible. First of all, he's partnered with this company, and this company is already seeing like massive increases on, the stock price. If I had gone and bought this pack, right, and then just gone and put the same amount of money on that, it's not financial advice, by the way. No one do this, but you could make money off that itself, off the company, because what Logan Paul's going to do to it. Never mind having this digital collectible. And again, this is not about this card and the way it looks, because I was speaking to a lot of the guys, a lot of my friends, were saying, what's so cool about a digital collectible? What's so cool about an NFT? I've got a gift now. Like, I can download this, right click, save to file. That's mine. But what Tom's saying is exactly right. Like, this is an address now, right? This is in the blockchain, right? You own that. You own the actual. I'm still learning about this stuff. You own the code, or you own like the whatever that is. Whereas, like, it's like Mona Lisa. I could go and print a picture of Mona Lisa, but I don't own a Mona Lisa. I just own a picture replica. So it's like, not only do you have the pack, which already is a first edition base set, by the way, so it's still worth something. You have Logan Paul open it to live, massive live audiences and millions after the fact. you could get a holo and get a good card out of it. You also get a digital collectible. You also get expedited PSA. To be honest, it's a good, even 30-40k is a good price for what you get all in total if you're lucky.
Can you imagine saying that a year ago? $40,000 is a good price for a base at first.
That was the price of a box a year ago.
I know, yeah. Oh.
I think it just shows you how much the market has changed in general, and also I think this is a really, another topic as well about boom or bust, and like where's this going? What's the title for this one? Let's move into that because I want to link this with it.
Does the market explode or?
Yeah, is it going to pop or is it going to explode? That's massive at the moment, right? And I want to use the example of Logan Paul here. He obviously thinks it's going to explode. He's put so much into this. Like you said, all that effort with PSA, with the what is it? Blockchain. You can tell I'm a genius on the stuff. And the fact that he's gone out there and got, that supply of base set first editions. He's found, what's the word? He's found a mule to push through these profit enterprises. It's very smart because it's totally his audience. And then on top of that, like he's having fun while he's doing it. So
what he's doing is actually incredible. It's ridiculous what he's done.
He's like super normalized the whole using crypto as well. I've seen in the past week, so just when I'm scrolling through Instagram, people's like selling posts, all of them now say like accepting crypto.
It's all part of it, it's just timing, man. I think we're going to look at this period of the pandemic, right, as obviously an awful time for so many different reasons. But there's also in many like disasters like this, right? There's always opportunity in there, and not even opportunity is the wrong word. There's always change, right? Like, so you got small things like offices now operating from home. When they've had like a year or two of that now. They're going to go back and think, actually, that worked for us. We're now going to operate from home. You're going to get so many different people realizing, right, this has happened, so we're going to make the most out of it. So the world's changing, and you're going to look back at something like what Logan's doing here, and it just all adds up with what he's doing. And again, it doesn't. The market shouldn't matter. So the market may pop, the market may boom, but it shouldn't matter what Logan's doing here, because even he's not. It's going off a little bit weird now, but like his original thing was to buy cards. I think to buy cards, make the market go up, and sell the cards. Right? He's made more money than he could ever have imagined buying and selling cards. Right? Even if he bought a first edition Charizard, right, for 100 grand and then sold it for 500 grand. He's made more money on this one stream than he would do with doing that 2-3 times, right? And we'll get onto it later why he's made even more money through this entire thing with the acquisition and blah blah blah, right? So it's just like the market doesn't need to follow it because Logan's not, it's like he's using Pokemon as a mule, like you say, Connor, but it's not actually like. It's nothing to do with the market. It's to do with his brand in Goldin Auctions and the collectible and the opening. It's like Pokemon is just
using it.
Yeah,
it's a transport vehicle. It's a way for him to go. Logan Paul brand. Our Pokemon's quite big. Bash that onto there, an explosion. Like it's such a clever way of doing it, and it's something that he must have started out, like you said, a bit of fun, opening it up, and he couldn't believe how well it did.
He wouldn't have imagined this. No, he wouldn't have imagined this at the start.
But now the thing is, it's almost like people are allowed to come out and be like, "Oh, I'm part." Like we said, well, I think one of the first points we ever made when we did a TCT with you was like you've made it cool and okay to collect Pokemon cards in the UK and stuff, and like to come out and of the closet. It sounds so bad, but like you're allowed to, be more public about it. And he's doing that again in America and on a massive scale, worldwide scale, because he's attaching his brand into it, and his audience isn't necessarily the Pokemon card audience, right? People who watch Poke Rev and you on Randolph Pokemon wouldn't necessarily watch Logan Paul. So he's fusing these audiences and building something so big. Big respect for that.
I just don't think there could have been anyone as well like positioned him as do it as well, because obviously he's had like controversies and stuff in the past, and he is the best person I've ever seen at kind of changing and adapting the situation. Like if you look at his stuff now, he's one of the coolest people to watch, and there's like nothing you can complain about. He's kind of worked on every criticism at every point and gone,
he's done well to
hold my hands up like I'm an idiot and let's figure out how to make it better. And I think he's done that with Pokemon. With the first one, $11,000 a pack, mate, that was his solution. He was like, okay, if you're going to complain about prices, you choose the prices. I'm walking away. You choose prices with the auctions and stuff. I think he smashed it at every single point.
And the core thing is, and this goes back to the whole collector flipper versus investor thing. Like, he is a collector. Like, right. So anyone could have done this, right? I mean, JJ KSI, right? He's doing huge things right now. If he cared enough about this, he could have gone and done this and made this happen, because he's got his name, he's got his reach, he's got his resources behind him to be able to go and do stuff like this. But what did he not have that Logan has in this situation is the interest in Pokemon. He just doesn't care about it. He cares about his music, so he's going to do that, right? Anyone could have done this. So it's the same thing for me, right? Like, I wouldn't be here with the store, with the relationship with you guys, with this podcast here, if I wasn't a collector, or I didn't care about the hobby. But what can I do from that, right? So can I go and start a business where, I'm going to make money, right? I'm going to turn it into like a career path. I'm going to turn it into this, and I will make a lot of money out of it, just being transparent. But at the same time, what good can I bring as Pokemon? Getting products out to people who need it, pointing people in the direction of you guys to get their cards graded. Someone might not have known how to do that before, right? And even that's a good thing for you, like, business wise. But at the end of the day, it's a service for someone, because they want to get their cards graded. They don't know how, and now they do. So it's like Logan. He came in as a collector. He came in with an interest of Pokemon. I want to get a Charizard, and look what he's done with it. He's just spinned it in a way that's good for himself, yes, but good for the community, which it still is, and good for Pokemon. It's smashed it. And I want to point out, by the way, exactly. I don't know if you guys even know this. So I saw on the Pokeju on Instagram, there has been a sale since this $1 million box for $450,000 of first edition base. So he brokered it, or he like middleman a sale. That wasn't $1 million, and the seller will have respected that. The buyer, it might have gone up 100K, it might have gone up 50K because of what Logan's done, but that's not because of Logan's bid price. It's because of Logan's attention and what he's brought to Pokemon.
Would is that Logan who's bought that? I mean,
I think to be fair, it was public. I think Pokeju, like, he put the buyer and he put the seller.
Fair play.
Yeah, so
which is nice as well.
And the price is going to go up anyway, because there's 6 less of them in circulation.
We know
that there's 6 less.
The price was going up anyway, right? Whether Logan's in or not, the price of Pokemon was going up. We saw that with COVID. We saw that with everything that was happening. It has been on the up.
That's what Logan left.
Yeah, that's why. By the way, the only reason he's in it, and the only reason he would have paid attention to it, is because the market went up. Like, that's what brought his attention, right? So there
has to be something there to take. If it was on the prices in March, what interest would have? Oh wow, you've got a £50 Power Keepers EX. Like, no one would have cared about that. No one. His audience wouldn't have cared. Whereas now, because there's money involved and there's the fun of the collecting, and it's Pokemon, they're taking them back to their childhood, playing the games. It's so many ingredients. It's just worked and popped so well in this time.
Yeah.
It's good to see, really, and I think in regards to the health of the market in future and the collecting scene, I think it only adds strength to it, because he's someone now who's also dedicated to the long term of Pokemon. Should we go on to that? So he has invested into Goldin Auctions.
Yeah.
Who've done the sales for them. And have you got that Twitter thing? Because I think it's so interesting.
One thing I said before as well, when we went on to there, one big thing regarding the market is that Collectibles Guru is not involved in this one, and I think he was the issue. But realistically, jokes aside, he was the problem with the first one, because all that 30K Bulbasaur, all this 30K by Christmas, that was what was the toxic about it. Logan was just there opening cards, having fun. He didn't know much about it, so Collectibles Guru was his person who he thought he could lean on. And credit to Logan for literally getting rid of him quick, because I remember I even messaged Logan straight away. I was like, bro, look, I respect what you're doing, but on Instagram voice note, I've voice noted Logan. I was like, bro, you have to cut this guy off, because he's just not. And I don't know whether he has. He might still be in the background. But I was like, bro, this guy is a joke for you, and he's not good for you. Go and find someone else. You know what I'm saying? Go and find Pokeju, TCA, really Z&G. Go and find anyone you can other than Collectibles Guru, because he's just
I voice
toxic.
noted him as well, but it just didn't get through, unfortunately.
I think I tagged him in the story. I don't think
that wasn't even like a name drop in that sense. It was a sense that it's still funny. Yeah, it's like I wanted to reach out to him and be like, bro, this guy is bad for the community. And Logan's come out now. He done like I said, Instagram, to go back on that, saying, guys, this is not the market. This is not what's happening. Don't follow. Don't sell. Don't buy from the scammers who are going to list higher now because Logan's sold for higher. And he didn't do that before, because Collectibles Guru was there doing the opposite for him. He was pushing that. So that's one thing that's massive for the market. So now we're going to see authentic growth, which will happen by more people coming into the hobby because of Logan, but it's not necessarily, it's not artificial. It's authentic.
No,
so that's one thing to
end.
The same
wee.
No,
I think it's just going to be nice and stable.
That's better, right?
It adds a bit more stability. Yeah,
that's the keyword.
It's an excellent point. It's an excellent point that he's got the right advice behind him. And hopefully, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it is going to be stable. I think we're going to see big price increases, because the people who are on that stream are well-known people they're millionaires basically, every single
Yeah,
one of them.
and that's why I lost to, by the way. I lost to millionaires, billionaires. It's different now. It's gone different. It's gone from like collectors. They might collect still. You can't say they're not collectors, but it's gone to like a different realm, right?
Yeah, if these people are interested in Pokemon now, there's no way. If something's worth 20k, then they can buy that without even hesitation. So that market is now going to be 20k, and that it does drip down, right? You know, cards will just be more expensive now. Right, we're going to talk about Goldin Auctions, yeah?
Yeah, so moving on to this next part, as Connor mentioned a minute ago, like this is where you now see the power behind what Logan just did, and it, you know, it takes away the $1 million profit or the potential 6 that he's got with the boxes. It takes away, you know, the digital collectible, the NFT. It just it puts into a different realm, right? And now you're starting to see like what's happening and where the money moves are. So pretty much, as you can see here, the Chernin Group is acquiring a majority stake in sports memorabilia auction house Goldin Auctions, who Logan sold his pack through, for $40 million. Investors include, and if I hover over these, you can't see, Kevin Durant, right? Mark Cuban, I'm sure everyone knows who Mark Cuban is. Chad Hurley, who's the co-founder of YouTube, which Logan is now one of the biggest creators on. Logan Paul, and then Bill Simmons, which I believe is something to do with Spotify, right? Ringer, not sure what that is, but then Spotify. So
I asked them not to put my name on the list.
I
didn't want it public. You know what I mean?
Fair, the $40 for the 40 mil, I didn't add up.
I thought, you know, let them take the highlight. No, but realistically,
you don't have to.
You've got massive, huge players now, not just in the Pokemon scene or in the sports scene. These are like celebrities. These are just general people who've been on TV shows. There's no reason for them to be in part of this market, but now they are.
And Silicon Valley names, like as soon as you got a name that's like co-founder of YouTube, you're like, oh, okay, I'm out.
Exactly. And look here, Goldin estimates they'll see 200 million in auctions this year, up from 27 million in 2019. Right? Logan Paul has just jumped into this. They will have been making money, and they will have been seeing an uptick before that. So the collectibles universe in general, sports, Pokemon's still kind of a little fish in the sports conversations, catching up. It still is. So like, this has been happening with or without Logan Paul. Like, stop crying because Logan Paul bought a base set box, and you think now you can't get a Shining Fates box. Shining Fates is gone for its own reason, right? You know, it's like you got
value. Yeah.
Anyone saw Logan Paul with an ATV of Shining Fates? I don't think so.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. God, that would cause.
This is where his next video is like making a house out of Shining Fates ATVs, like Lego.
Yeah, the reason no one can get Shining Fates is because Logan Paul literally bought like a tornado machine and started like causing like natural disasters across the America just to put Shining Fates into his back pocket now.
But Logan Paul's market isn't the new modern stuff, right? Logan Paul's market is this old vintage stuff. He's looking for stuff that is investable. The people that he's trying to attract are entrepreneurs, they're business people, they're very successful people, and people like that are only interested in big money, and they like to risk. They like to make stupid moves and then be like, yeah, well, I've got it. No one else does.
I'm waiting to see like an Elon Musk Pokemon thing or something weird.
It will happen. It's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't worry about Logan Paul, guys, because you know Mark Cuban can go and buy out. It's not Mark Cuban can come in and buy every card in existence. You know, you saw Steve Aoki went and bought every single PSA 10 Gold Star. Like, how mental is that? Like, in terms of rarity in itself.
Yeah. One of each. A full Gold Star set.
In one set from David Adams, DNA Card War. You know,
see, like that. It's not a fair market, is it? Like, I haven't got my Groudon Gold Star, and Steve Aoki's got one. Like, what the hell am I going to do about that?
To be fair, he's a superstar DJ. You're a nerd in England.
Yeah, but exactly, it's not a market I can compete in anymore. And you know, and I'm sure Randolph can, but I can't. No. And nah, joking. I'm only joking.
I thought he was a music producer, superstar DJ. Bro.
I did make $5 billion from my my Champions Pass ETVs that I listed for £70, by the way.
You did? Yeah. Good thinking.
I'm the villain, man.
But it's true. Like, these cards are now not going to be available because names like that are buying these cards. And that means these cards are just going to become less and less and less available because they'll just work down the list.
But it happens with everything. Like, I've
bought
life, the cars thing, classic cars and stuff like that. Like, guess what? You can't go 30 years back and start buying Apple stock. You can't do it. Sorry. You can't do it.
That wrecks my future plans.
Unless you've got a time machine. If you've got a time machine, hit me up.
Yeah.
But like,
you're right.
You can't buy a base set first edition box for 35 grand anymore. Sorry. You can't do it.
We're going back to when I was, what did I say?
No, but this isn't about like if you deserve to or not. This is just about like time. Like things go up in price if they're investable. If they're not, they'll go down in price. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it. Sorry.
Yeah. It's brutally honest. We're being brutally honest here, but people think that when people like us say stuff like this, it's like we miss out as well. Like you say, like Connor will now struggle to get his crowd on. I'll struggle to get certain cards. You know, I was trying to get the first edition Charizard one day in a 9. I thought that's a good purchase when it was $5,000. It's now 50 grand. What am I gonna? I can't cry. It's life, right? And I can't get this card. But you know, and we're being brutally honest here. You know, nothing's stopping Mark Cuban, Chad Hurt. They have every right as we do to go and buy whatever they want to buy. You know, and I think Shreddy as well. I see him on Instagram. Like he's been quite vocal about this as well. Like people are crying that they can now not go and buy the first edition base set box. No one, you weren't buying it, like mate. You know what I'm saying? Like just feel, unless you were, then fair enough, go and buy it. But you weren't gonna buy it, so like it going from 500k to $1 million. You know,
you weren't gonna buy it at 500k anyway. So you were never in that market. So if you were never in the market to have confidence to buy it when it was its highest at the peak, then you didn't have confidence now. I mean, I'd be honest, I think a lot of people would struggle to come up with $1 million.
Yeah.
No, it's sad reality, really.
It is sad, for sure, yeah.
But it doesn't mean there's not opportunities to collect. It doesn't mean there's not opportunities to make some money as well.
I'm only just getting into collecting. I've bought this up a few weeks when we've talked about this because everyone's like, "Oh, I can't collect now." I'm sorry, I've been like collected now for 2 weeks worth of streams or something. Like actually opening a lot of product for myself. I've had it in the last 2 weeks, so can't be a crybaby about it. It is out there. Like you just got to go find it.
It is, yeah, and it's a hard reality, but it's true. Like you got to change your mind. I mean, my goal was to get a PSA 10 set of Gym Challenge, right? I got half of it now, but then now I'm realizing I can't get that anymore. I have to stick with it with half. You know, someone offered me £4,000 to buy the PSA 10 Charizard, Blaine's Charizard first edition. I said no, right? It's now worth like 8, 10. I can't now say, oh man, I got offered that for $4,000. I didn't take it. You know what I'm saying? I made a decision at that time thinking that card, I think that card is not going to go up, or I think it's going to drop again after something happens. It didn't. What am I going to do about it? I have to be realistic, you know?
It's like having a go if you didn't invest in Bitcoin 2 years ago.
Yeah, like hindsight is going to kill you. Like you can't, it's not going to kill you, but like, hindsight is dangerous, right? So that you can't let it get to you, and don't let it get to you. You know, just move on. Like just think, right, this collection goal is gone now. I'll move on. It's a sad reality. We all have to do it, but by crying about it and by complaining about it, you're not going to get anywhere. So just accept it.
Find something new to enjoy.
Find something new. Yeah.
Don't get stressy about something that's outside of your control. Time. Instead, go. Well, what else do I really like?
Yeah, and it's sad. Like what we're saying now is actually it's heartbreaking. I want to get the first edition Lugia 10. I'm not now. You know, but it's just a harsh reality, and we're laughing at it only because it's like it's out of our reach. Yeah, what else? You know, like
to be fair, I do cry myself to sleep at the Gold Star Pikachu every night.
I don't ask Tom any questions, so Tom, let's ask you a question, mate.
Oh God.
Right, so you're a new collector.
Yep.
You know, you've been doing these streams now on Sundays, which I tell people to go watch.
If you don't watch it on youtube.com/GoGem Sundays, come on.
Yeah, but like it's
sponsored by Pokemon really... often as well.
Yeah,
come on.
There you go. But like realistically, you're starting this journey. Yep. I started the journey 5 years ago. There's no point me doing those videos. I've done them, been there. But what is it that you're enjoying now out of what you're collecting, what you're opening?
I'm trying to stay extremely blind to everything I open. So like, I've seen Tag All Stars before, obviously. But I hadn't seen anything really to do with Shiny Star V because I don't work with like processing the cards here either, so I don't even see any cards. I hadn't looked at most of the Japanese sets. Obviously, I bought quite a bit of Japanese off Randolph. That was super exciting to see like the nice artworks, the much better card quality because you know I'm a stickler for like perfection. I was like, oh my god, these cards are actually sick.
Oh, nice.
And then Digimon, I love Digimon as a cartoon or an anime or whatever. And I hadn't seen any of the cards. I think I'd seen one card that had come through a service because I can't remember if it's John or Sam was like, oh, look, we got a Digimon card. And I was like, okay. And then I was opening it, and every pack I was like, yo, this is sick. It was that feeling of, you know, when you're a kid and you get a pack and you open it and you're like, this is sick. It's that.
I don't know how you feel, Randolph, but sometimes I get a bit jealous of that excitement because the only way I get to the prime tins, that's where I get that excitement. And this no disrespect. That gave me a
straight up like semi, so yeah.
Yeah, there's no disrespect to what you're doing, but that stuff you're opening just wouldn't excite me in the same way it does you. Like you're showing me those things and you're really proud of it and you're like 666.
But when you open Magic,
Yeah,
the Godzilla cards, you had it.
exactly. So that's what I sometimes get a bit jealous of, is that now, because I was lucky to be a part of the market before, I don't get the same thrill like I used to, which is, it's something that's disappointing
Well,
in
you've
myself.
seen me open like 1,000 packs of Detective Pikachu and 18 card set and still get the thrill. So I think
Yeah,
I'm just
that's very
broken.
No. But no, you're really excited by it, and
Yeah,
that's the enthusiasm I used to have when I used to get collections and do that sort of stuff
On the video, right?
I can't do it in the same way now. Like the Prime Tins, I was mad excited for, but if you gave me a load of Shining Fates now, it's not going to excite me in the same way.
So am I allowed to have all of our pre-orders?
No.
Oh, okay.
You'd enjoy it, right? And you'd find the cards, you find enjoyment in that activity, but it doesn't give you the I'm the same. When I first got back into Pokemon, right? And I was always into Pokemon. When I first got back into looking at cards and looking at the values and grading and stuff, I went back into my old collection, and imagine you're watching SM Pratt sale, or watching Gem and Pokemon, you scroll to your binder and you find, oh my god, I got a first edition Blaine's Moltres. Like, what? I'm gonna send it off to get graded. Imagine that excitement there is a different level of excitement you get. No, sorry. To get graded with graded gem.
Hey!
So now I know why they chose that word, because you say it all the time and it's stealing the GJ from us. But anyway, No, carry on.
So it's the excitement is I think when you get into these cards and you look at the the values of them and grade them, you get a little bit more excited, and it's different to opening packs, So as you said there, kind of the excitement for Shining Fates for you is not the same, but it was back in the day, and I think that's where, going back to the collector, flipper, investor thing, is that I think honestly, we've always been investors and always been flippers and always been collectors at the same time, right? If there was no value in it, right, we wouldn't be here in the same way, because you'd have that same interest in that you have in the Godzilla, right? The Magic. You're not going at for money. You're going at for pure enjoyment. Like Tom's opening cards for the pure enjoyment. I'm opening my Shiny V and my Tag All Stars for my pure enjoyment. I'll grade them after and I'll make value after, but that there, just opening them off camera, on myself, watching telly, is the enjoyment. That's the fun of it. And the money side does take that away from it. And that's life, So I think a lot of the collectors now who are complaining that Logan Paul is ruining their hobby, what they're mad at is they can't make more money now. They're mad that they can't go and spend this much money on this cards that they want to get. And it's a harsh reality, and I think people have to accept, look at those three things and think oh, it's not wrong to invest in cards, it's not wrong to flip in cards, it's not wrong to collect, but make sure you're aware of each aspect, because
just a bigger shark came in, right?
You
were doing really well with your little fish and your little coral, but then the big boy great white turned up and you ain't got nothing to eat, and that is the harsh reality. That's a really good analogy.
Well,
smashed it.
Analogy.
There you go.
I've got a really good way, in my head. I'm very I laser focus on things, so I can split things up really easily. So I'm invested in Pokemon quite heavily. Yeah. I co-own Graded Gem, the biggest grading service outside the US. I co-own that. I'm heavily invested in Pokemon. So the collecting side for me, when I'm opening stuff, I don't care about investment. I don't care about the price of a card. I can pull a card and think it's sick. It's worth pennies. Or I can pull a card and go, oh, it's okay. And it's worth 500 quid. Don't phase me. I don't care that much. Pretty much at all. What I want to ask you two, though, is would you get the same excitement? Because, cards are a little bit, not giving you the same thrill at the moment. The Amazing Rares, right? The new set comes out. There is a Groudon and a Lugia amazing rare. Are you gonna then go, nah, I've got to open this set? Does that bring the excitement back if it's your card that you really want in a sick style?
You want to go first with that one?
Well, I think I'm different to Connor in a sense anyway, because I still do open every new set, and I get excited from all. I can separate it out. I didn't for Vivid. I opened for the store for Vivid to sell singles, and next time I'm gonna get staff to do that, because it did kill the set for me, and that's one mistake I made. But I always love cards. I mean, I collect Lugias anyway. So it's still there for me. But I do see, there are factors that what I just said there is a way of how my work is affecting my collecting, right? How my investing in my company is affecting my collecting. So you just got to be mindful and think right, that's not good. Stop that. But then do this, So that's my end of it, really, in short.
I've been living this for 5 years now, so there is a slight difference as well. Pokemon's been my main. I'm old in this game. It has been my main thing for a long time. Yeah. And I think you are right. It takes those special cards, like a Groudon Amazing Rare, for me to get excited about it. Or specific, like the Ikoria, the Godzilla. I was so hyped for that. Yeah. It takes specific cards or specific sets for me to really take an interest. I enjoyed Vivid. I thought it was so good.
But when you got that Alakazam Amazing rare.
Yeah.
Wet your pants.
That's it. That's what I kind of like focus in on what exactly I want, because I already know what I want.
But do you think you'd be more excited opening a pack blind, like not knowing what's in the set?
To be fair, no, I disagree in a sense. You know, when we open packs, right? Say we're opening amazing Vault Tackle, right? Connor's always the most excited when we get something good. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't know what it's.
That's you're there, mate.
It's off camera. It's off camera. I hate it. No.
Because you don't know the value, right? That's the issue. You don't know the value. If you open a booster box, right, of first edition Team Rocket and you get Dark Weezing, everyone's disappointed because everyone knows it's bad. If you don't know it's bad, you're I got hollow, sick, right? So like when you're opening Vida Voltage and you get like a rainbow rare Pikachu, you're like, oh my god, that's a bad example because that is the pull card, isn't it? You're opening Champions Path, right, and you get a God of War full art. You're like, oh, I got God of War, that's sick. But because we know that everyone hates Champions Path, right, and Charizard is the reason that's good, we dislike it. I think going in blind, the knowledge ruins you. Yeah, it does.
And knowing the values, so keeping up to the market, keeping up with watching this podcast. Unfortunately, in some ways, when you go to have fun and open the pack, then maybe there will be some disappointment there. I guess, I guess I can. It's difficult, isn't it? Because it's coming from both angles. I obviously still got the passion here because I wouldn't be able to be on this podcast and do graded gem and stuff. But at the same time, my passions have changed over time. Like I get excitement by different things, whereas where at the start. It was anything, you know what I mean? You chuck a Charmander from T-Rocket, I'll be like, oh my day, what I find in this binder. Like, and although those videos got like 50 views, it's because I'm just totally nerding and geeking out, whereas I don't feel like I can do that in the same sense anymore.
Well, I completely think if I was opening a WotC first edition booster box, I wouldn't be nowhere near as excited unless it was like one of the gym sets or something where I really like the art. I know literally every card in the set. So yeah.
Well, this is modern, man. I think what we're describing here is where modern's coming from. Like, look at a lot of the older collectors, and a lot of the smart ones did notice that modern was coming and they have acted. To be fair, but a lot of people have been taken by surprise. You can now go and buy a first edition Fearow PSA 9 from Gym Heroes, right? And it'd be worth like £300, maybe more. But just an example, Gold. I saw Gold Up PSA 9 first edition Gold Up from Challenge, right? Sold for like £250. Josh bought them, right? You go and look at like Marnie or Nessa. Maybe bad examples there, but you'll see some Gem Mint 10s from Sword and Shield that will hit £200. Right? And that's a 9 versus a 10. I know it's a Gem Mint 10 versus a 9, different premium. But what I'm saying is,
that Rillaboom Gold card sells for that, doesn't it?
Yeah. So like, modern's here now, and what is that, right? That you could argue is an investment piece, i.e. the Moltres. Like, not for everyone, but a lot of people would like. You hear everyone, go and invest in PSA 9s, right? And could be a good idea. You go and pick up a PSA 9 Fearow for an investment reason or for a financial reason. Why do you go and buy a Gem Mint 10 Rillaboom? Not for investment, because you like the card, it looks good. So people are collecting now again. You know what I'm saying? People are collecting cards and they're grading them because it's not even about, it is about value because, there is value attached to it, and that's probably one of the issues in Pokemon why people can't blur the lines, because there is value. So like the kids argument, it is for kids, but it's also at the same time worth like a grander pack for a Neo Destiny. You know what I'm saying? That's also the case. Yeah. So it's like people are collecting now. They're getting out, booster box from Sword and Shield, getting their cards, sending them to PSA, getting them back, which is another pack opening, and then they've also got satisfaction that it's worth £200. Like, people are collecting on a high end scale now. More so than they were back in the day, because everyone was investors, everyone was flippers. It's almost as if the older people who were like the WotC collectors are now like jealous of people going to buy modern. Do you know what I'm saying? It's working for them, and they're thinking, I've invested all this money in here, which is going. They're not sad because the values have gone up. But did you get my point here? Right? Am I making
the point
sense?
Is it's not the opportunity was there anyway at the time. So like, if you bought loads of PSAs at £30, what you actually could have done is at the time now bought loads of modern PSA 10 them, bought them back, and you would have made the same return. So that I think that's the point, right? So they're looking at it as if, well, what was the point of all that work if that's happening anyway? And that's why I would argue. I think the other thing is historical pricing. You don't have history pricing for the Rillaboom VMAX. It's come back PSA 10, people want it, so therefore that's the price. Whereas with PSA 9's first editions, they've never been this high. So everyone's like, oh, I don't know if that should be that high. But they'll pay the same amount of money for the Rillaboom because that's the first sale. It's like
it might drop, right? I mean, we could call it wrong here. The Rillaboom could tank and it could be like a $30 card. Which, by the way, for a lot of these amazing rares, for a lot of these like cards that aren't hard to pull, but are graded now because someone's paid extra to grade them, will be worth the premium. Same thing for me, if I get my Charizard VMAX and sell it for a higher amount right now, it will go down when the market saturates, but it might go up again, long term. So, if someone wants to buy my Charizard VMAX for £500 because it's the only one on the market right now, then they can do that. It might be worth £250 in the future. It might be worth £300 in the future. But then in 10 years, it might go back up again. But that person there buying it, they want that card in their collection. And that's what it is, And you can't hold everyone's hand, right?
Ownership. It's the tangible ownership as well. Like actually having the card, like it's such a weird thing, but like having them in your possession, sometimes the price doesn't matter. It's more the fact I own this, and therefore... Actually, I had an opportunity and therefore I decided just to go for it because it doesn't matter what the value is. I've got it and I've got it in my hands and I can look at it and sod everyone else. I've got it.
Well, in your example, right, as a grading service, you'll get people on this is both sides of the spectrum as well. You'll get someone who will want to pack a card, right? They want to pack the Rillaboom Gold Star. By the way, the gold card, right, is the similar rarity as the Gold Stars. If you look at the pull rates, so Rillaboom Gold card. Right, you get that in a pack. You grade it yourself. You have the excitement of packing it, sending it to PSA, getting a 9, getting a 10, getting whatever you get. That's yours now. You've done the work, done the groundwork. You save money as well because you haven't bought it out. But realistically, that will take a long time. Right, that'll take a long time to get it done. Whether you send whatever service you do, it can take months. Right, so you have the enjoyment of getting it back yourself because you packed it and you have that enjoyment. But on the other side of the thing, someone might not want to grade because they want to think, right. So I want to buy this card right now because I like the card, like you say. I want to hold it in my hand, as you just said, Connor, and I'll pay £200 for that, right? I can send it, get it cheaper, or from this method, but it'll take like however many months, or you can go and buy it. The difference is, someone will then go and buy 100 Rillaboom Gold cards, right? Grade it through Graded Gem. And then they'll get 100 back, and then they'll flip it and sell it to that person, and everyone's happy, right? Because the person who packed it is happy because he sent it in, and he's happy to wait because he wants his card back as his first owner that he packed in a slab, right? The person who's flipping is going to win because they've saw an opportunity to go and buy these cards because they know people want them and get them graded. And the person who bought the card is happy because at the end of the day, he wants the card. He understands that he can go and pack it himself, right? He understands that he can go and grade it himself, but it takes time that he might not want to have. Time is money, and he's looked at that and thought, I want to make that. I've been buying collections recently where I'll go and spend a lot of money on someone's collection. They'll know that, and I'll know that I've got a good price here, But what have I got to do? I've got to go and then put that through graded, which is going to cost me. I have to then put that through value charge, right? I have to do all this effort and I have to wait. I have to tie my money up for 6 months, before then I got to sell it, and make it back. Then I got VAT. I got a lot of parts of the puzzle. Whereas, the person who've bought it off, they've got money now. They've got X amount of money, and they can move on with their life, right? So I think people really do have to think of what is going on here in every single side of the argument.
I would say the big thing as well for flippers is that unfortunately flippers don't realize this a lot of the time. They make good money, like you say, they can sell it immediately. They make good money, yeah. Flippers get stung the most because they don't keep anything.
Yes, yeah.
And that means, like, I used to flip all the time. However, I collected. So therefore, when the market did Rillaboom, then I've still got a lot of value there. Like, I'm not losing anything. All the cards I sent to you, they were dead cards, man. That the whole lot of them was worth like $1,000 before all this. Like they were nothing. They were just excess inventory. And then I was I don't want them. They're not from a collection. So
maybe not the Celebi. The Celebi was pretty nice.
Celebi was cool, but still.
Hey, by the way, that card, which one? The hollow.
Triumphant?
Yeah.
It's just I've not done this yet. I've not done a video on it. That card is pop 9, by the way. I don't think the card is a good card. I'm not saying you should buy it. Do what you want, but like it is a good price and it's a good card to get. And if it's still there, like I'm gonna get it soon. That's sick.
But that's what happens. Like, and if I was a pure flipper and all I was doing was buying to sell, when this boom happened, I would have had no value. I would have lost everything.
How many people do we know who have lost money because they sold at the wrong time? They flipped
money,
on March the 1st, right, and then March the 2nd it went boom. They've lost money, but they have to accept that, right? And I think, sorry to interrupt, but a lot of people, I think flipping has got a negative connotation onto it for that reason. So. To call back to Scott SM Pratt, right? I watch a lot of him. Makes good videos. He'll always speak about the flipper, but he's not. People may misunderstand that. He's not having a go at the flipper and saying don't flip. Like flipping is wrong. What he's saying is this is stupid. I'm saying what this person's doing is not smart because they're not thinking long term and they're just making a quick buck. It's not that someone should be crucified for buying and selling a card. They're within their right to do that. It's that may be the wrong decision, right? Versus holding it for 2 years. That's the point.
And the other side of that is, what if the market crashes? The flippers, I've just bought a card for $2,000 that they were going to flip for 2.5, and now it's worth $1,000. Like, they put themselves in the most risky position, because if you have value and you've got cards there, things go up and down. It doesn't matter so much. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really care. The value's there. You've got those cards. No one else does. Flipping is risky. Like pure flipping, it's damn risky. And fair play if you want to do it, but I always think you should have a backup plan, like another business, maybe another income, maybe a job, because it's not guaranteed income, and I think sometimes people think it is.
And scalping a different side of it, you know, this is what I don't understand about scalpers, and to this extent, well, I do, because they don't know about Pokemon, they're not into Pokemon. It's like, you know, that Shining Fates ETB that you've gone and scalped and bought for like £52. Open it, like you can probably get better value opening it than scalping it. You know what I'm saying? Open it, create it with Great Gem. You might make some more money, but they're not in it for that. They don't want that risk management. They don't want to put that work in. They want
in a few days. Yeah.
So I think flipping and scalping very close. It is very close, but it is very different as well. And
right. I want to move this on, and I don't have a segue. I just want to say a huge congratulations to Randolph. 500,000, 500,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Let's go.
Ridiculous achievement. Congrats, man.
Yes, congratulations.
Thanks. I saw this on the, you guys sent me the list, right, of the topics, and I didn't read it. I read some of it, but I skimmed through it, and then I saw Randolph Pokemon hitting 500k, and I was like, how do I segue that? I can't just be like, yo, guys.
I hit 500k. No, it's a big deal though, and I know that you might not see it as a big deal,
Captain Big Deal over
for the UK and the European market, like to have a Pokemon centered channel, focus channel, opening the packs, opening the cards, PSA returns, like and submissions, like it's rare. You've been able to bring in personalities as well that before weren't ever on the radar because of your connections there. So the quality of the content you've been able to put out is no one else can compete with, and that's because it is that good, and it's good fun to watch. I watch a lot of the stuff because it's good fun, and the live streams that you do, I have them on my headphones when I'm doing my pre-grading or whatever. So like a massive thank you from everyone in the UK really for standing up and putting yourself in the position that you are now and sharing all the content that you've got.
And also calling out people who are knobs, like Collector's Guru. Like you're very honest, and like you're saying what the collectors are saying.
Yeah, well, thanks to you guys as well, but also thanks to the people listening and watching, because that's the reason I'm still like here, because it's been amazing. Like the support, even me getting to 500k, I never would have even imagined I would do that at all. So like just the people who like support me is mental. I'm very blessed to have the audience that I have. But strictly again, like in I guess like it's gonna sound very like cocky here, but I started this when no one was interested in Pokemon, if you know what I'm saying. So like it was a risk at the time as well. I remember all my friends were like, what are you doing? Like I was stressed. I was very, very low point in my music, world, very low point in the YouTube world. I was like, you know what? I just want to geek out again, do what I love, open Pokemon cards. I've always wanted to make a channel on Pokemon, but never dared do it. I've said this before. But I finally took the jump because I was like, I've got a bit of an audience right now. It might flop, but I've got a few thousand people I know that'll come over, and they did. And shout out to those people. I'm sure there'll be people watching this right now who've watched me from the get-go. I mean, I was posting a video with like 500 views, 600 views. Did have no ad revenue. I was losing money every day, right? This is a big thing that not many people know. I was losing money for like months because I would be opening £100 product per video, and that's what set me apart as well. I think as well is like I could see that. Well, first of all, I want an excuse, right? I want an excuse to buy cards and sell them, and I was like, right, if I can't just buy them and open them. I have to at least make a video on them. I have to at least like get some not revenue, because my channel wasn't monetized, and I never thought it would be.
I remember you saying that. I remember on the WhatsApp group you were like, I'm spending so much money on this on my channel and even monetized yet.
Yeah.
And so it was a big leap of faith from you to move over from the music, from Sidemen Connections and that, and for you to come into Pokemon, because back then there wasn't necessarily there's definitely not the same attention it's got now. And you well, there
was only three people that actually made any money from Pokemon, really, weren't there? Like in the card scene, Leon Hartnell did Lathan Max mofo. That was it.
Yeah, and a lot of it back then was more like, it was more TCG competitive, right? Like, you had like the SM Prats, right? And you had the Gem Pokemon, but and not to disrespect those, but they weren't really creating content on this level of like entertainment, right? Yeah, and this like flashiness. I mean, we still get a lot of hate for like looking like this on the thumbnails, right? And bringing the annoyance into it, but that is what we do, right? And yeah, it was a big risk. Like, I remember the day where we got monetized, and I said to Laura, I was like, oh my god, we got monetized, and like we earned our first $10, and we were like, we got $6 right on the first day, and then we were like, I said to Laura, I was like, let's try and get to 10. If we get to $10 per day, that's great. We got to 10. Then I remember we were one day in Vegas one day for JJ's fight, right? And we got $100 per day, and we were like, oh my god, if we can maintain $100 a day, it's mental. And then it grows and grows, and even to this day, I spend more money than I make on the channel, like, completely. I spent like more, maybe like triple what I earn a month on like cards. I mean, what did I spend yesterday? Like $2,000 to get all the vintage Japanese Japanese cards to open, and that would probably make me like $400, $500, which I'm completely grateful for. Like, even me still to do that is immense, but like it's still a loss. But I do it because I enjoy it, and also at the same time, I've now if I've seen that if I invest, I'll grow. You know what I'm saying? I'll grow, like the Logan Paul thing. If I invest that $11,000, I'll grow. And that'll make me more money down the line anyway, and it'll make me, more viewers, and it'll what's the word? Bro, I can't get elongate, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Or that.
Elongate. Longevity, right?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, it'll give you longevity in this. But this, I don't know. I'm rambling now. But what I'm saying is that like it was a risk at the time, and I did it for the pure love of it. Yeah, I started opening cards and investing because I wanted to buy back. Investing money because I wanted to like open packs. I was like, right, let me post it at least, like make something back, or just to make it worth something. Then it snowballed and snowballed and snowballed. And one thing I'll say is that anyone out there who wants to start a channel or do something like and push their goals is, I would have hated myself, right? I probably would have gone into like a spiral of depression if I didn't start a channel and this happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I've always been collecting, I've always been like interested in doing this content. If I didn't take the leap and do that, and then I saw Logan Paul do this, I would have thought, oh my god, I've missed out on a massive opportunity. Because I would have started then, but I would have looked like someone just joining in for the hype, right? I would have looked like someone just joining for the fame, for the clout, and it wouldn't, and I would have hated myself for doing that. Whereas actually, thankfully, I took the leap, and now it's paying dividends because of the fact that, I didn't care what anyone said and just did it.
It sets you apart. Sets you apart that you didn't just come in for when the attention was there. You haven't, you've been there. You didn't just come in for the attention, for money, or any of those reasons. You came in because it was something that was good for you, and you could provide the content. So like it's a massive thing for. I know that you're very well respected in the UK. Your name comes up probably once a day on a phone call. I watched you guys with Randolph. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that they're you're a big, massive part actually of the community in general for Pokemon, from people who don't take it particularly serious to the hardcore collectors. Like you're well known, and I think it's been a massive success, to be fair, and it's been really good to watch it firsthand to watch the whole thing. It's really cool that we've been able to do this podcast as well. So yeah, I don't want to embarrass you further.
Nah, but I want to say as well, what I was just saying there as well is like it's not to brag or anything like that. It's not to even say, look what I've done. I'm literally trying to reach out to the person who I know is watching this video, who is struggling, not even in Pokemon, who's struggling in life, like not taking that leap to go and do what they always dream to do. That's the only reason I'm saying it. I'm not saying, oh, look at me, I started before it was cool. I'm saying like, go and do what you want to do, because there's a quote, right? Like, there's something about starting. If you don't start now, you start tomorrow or something. I don't know what the actual quote is, but like, you have to start today. Like tomorrow is today, right? If you don't start now, you never will. So just do it. Like, just make the channel, create the business, ask the girl out. I'm saying you've got to do it. You got to shoot a shot. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to say that. But
you marry me.
But no, I appreciate you guys massively, and I think our relationships worked, right? And in a friendship sense, but also a business sense, because of the ties between Pokemon, Greater Gem, and the First Edition podcast. Now, this is we do this for fun, but at the end of the day, it's still good for all three businesses, right? Really. But if you didn't show me the love, or and vice versa, when we first met you guys at the London Pokemon Center, all this stuff, we wouldn't have been here, right? So that's why I truly do believe in like integrity, doing the right thing, and being the right person, and you guys do as well. So it's always been like a perfect fit for us to just like do this stuff, really. And I think as well, again, may sound cocky, blah blah blah, but in the UK, like I think people need us to like to actually operate this way, because there's there's so many shady people like in Pokemon, in the business, and in the UK, right? And this is why I get mad at the Facebook groups, right? I'm doing the right thing, and you get these people on Facebook group having a go. And I guarantee if they were in my position, they would be doing like tripling the price I'm selling at. You know what I'm saying? And that's you know, it's a long, tough thing, but I think we're doing. I
don't know if just to start tagging you in every single one of the threads that you pop up in, because you get so heated on Facebook.
that thread that you tagged me in, maybe we'll talk about it in the next episode. That's like affected me for like a month now. Since you sent me that, it's been like literally the one thing I go to sleep thinking about that Facebook thread every single day. And for those who don't know, it's because I listed a card for £500 and they were mad that it was not market value.
And Joe trolled you in it, and then you commented back, and I was like, should have had beef on the podcast. And you were like, oh, it's Joe.
But that shows the integrity, right? That it actually bothered you. Like, it's the same thing. Like, if it didn't bother you, I'd be worried, because then all you care about is the gain and the exposure and stuff. But the fact that you still think about a silly Facebook thread that doesn't really matter. Man. Well, it shouldn't though, should it?
So I speak to Josh most nights, right? Me and Josh are a Discord call most nights, right? And he just says, he's like, bro, shut up. Like, stop talking about Facebook. And I'll bring it up every day, and I'll read it to him. Like, oh, these people say this because I care, man. But then also, like, I got to run a business at the same time. And the worst part, right, is look what happened, right? I listed that car for £500, and I think that was expensive at the time, by the way. It's a Charizard VMAX PSA 10. It was expensive at the time, but I hadn't checked eBay yet. You understand? I've not checked. I've just listed. All I've done is I had a card that I sold for £500 in the past. I'd got 2 back from PSA. I'd just gone and restocked it. I just gone put 2 into the box that says 0 before, and it's gone up. And then someone's gone, hold on, this is not right. And if it's not right, then I'll go and adjust it. And I did right. I took it to £450. Then I was like, you know what? Maybe they were right even more. Took it to £400, and what happened is it sold out in like 20 minutes. £400. And I look back and think, you know what? I need that card to be on my store. I need it to promote other products. You got PokeRev out there listing a $2 million listing of all his booster boxes. That's to get traffic to his store. No one's thinking, bro, do you guys think that PokeRev's ripping the community off by selling his booster boxes for $2 million? And one day it'll be worth that.
Yeah, but it's sad that it's sad that the strong opinion has to be brought across to you like that, because realistically, if you put it on eBay for £500, you know what I mean? There's no.
How many people do that? How many people list it? You list it there for best offer, right? You put it on there, best offer to gauge the market. So I list up my store. I look at the analytics, how many people are viewing it, how many people are adding to cart. And then I'll think, right, that's not sold. I'll take it down. It's not market value anymore. But
it's your card, right? So you have every right to list it for whatever the hell you want. There's no reason that you have to do so. And even with the allocations you get, you don't have to do anything with them. You can decide. The fact is, you do the right thing, and that's what people should look at, not necessarily the mistakes you make. Mistakes happen. Businesses, make silly mistakes sometimes. And I'm not saying you have, but I'm just saying that happens. But as long as the integrity and the ideals and the morals are there, then base their reputation on that.
Yeah.
Forget everything else.
It'd be different if I was on here right now, right, on YouTube, saying, guys, this card is worth £500. This card is going to go up 2 times in the next 3 months. You need to go and buy this card right now. All I'm doing is putting it on my store and just letting it sit there, right? I'm not doing anything malicious on purpose. Whereas other people,
then that person buys it for £400 and then sells it for 500. Like that's where it is. And to be fair, how you said that it's important for us to act the way we do. Especially, you're us and Grady Gem. It is like that, but it has to be fair. Because we both know that we all try to be high and standing as much as possible, and sometimes mistakes happen. What are you laughing at?
Would you say he was trying to set a record price for a new Charizard?
Oh. Wait, one thing. So I want to say one more thing before you take. It's a perfect segue. I shouldn't say this, but what I'll say as well is it's my responsibility to do what I can to teach people how to look at prices, right? Or how to learn. That's what if those listen to this podcast right now will learn stuff, right, about the insights of Great Gem, the insights spoke around, and our opinions as collectors, right? And it's not financial advice, blah blah blah. But it's not our responsibility. It's our responsibility to do what we can. But if that car is not worth £500, then that's up to the person who goes to buy it to do the research on eBay. You know what I'm saying? He has to look. They have to look at eBay and say, that car's not worth £500. I won't buy it, right? I can't, stop someone from. I can force the product down someone's throat. I can say, buy this right now, but I'm not doing that. I'm not promoting it that way. I'm putting it there. It's up to the person. So the viewer, have to go and do the due diligence to learn how much it's worth. And that's why I don't do prices on my videos anymore. That's why I don't do prices on my box breaks anymore, because what I say is not true. I can't say Pokemon price is often incorrect. You've got people shilling on eBay. I don't know the answer of how much something's worth. You know,
you could just you
do the research. You know what I'm saying? Do your due diligence, man. I'm not gonna go and buy like $5 million worth of Bitcoin. You know, because Elon Musk has. Yeah.
People will just ring up and be like, I don't know what Pokemon deck I have. And I'm like, well, you're on the step before. Like, you need to do the research. It's not down to me to go, yeah, just send all of them and we'll make profit from that.
Yeah,
like,
because we created that policy pretty much at the start of the boom, didn't we?
Yeah,
that's when people were starting to go, yeah, but can I make money out of this? And that's when we had the conversation where it's like, we've got to not give our opinions now because
but you even
can't
do it with me.
Control the market.
At the start, I'd be like, oh, guys, should I grade this? And you'd be like, it's up to you, man. I'm like, no, I'm not asking you to grade a gem. I'm just saying, like, Tom, do you like this card? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm like, I can't tell you, man.
But I have to say, it's so many times on the phone. Yeah. And then even better, you know, this is I love the calls and stuff. I love it. But sometimes these are people that haven't been in the scene necessarily. But then they'll be like, yeah, but what about this? And I'm like, I can't, you know, there's value there that I can't control. You need to make those decisions. Yeah. And it's exactly the same. But
it's people, a good thing I'm not on the phone.
People will slate you for that because realistically, they think I'm in a position of knowledge where I should be giving out my advice and helping.
But you do though. Trading Card Talk podcast.
That's my video,
we do that. That's where we share information. SM Pratt, right? Omnipoke, Z&G. Go and listen to these people. Take it in, like we did. Like I watched Connor to learn. You know, you watched. Whoever you watched to learn, we all watch people.
And Pokemon and Pokemon
exactly,
Master 556.
we learned that way, right? You know, you can't. I'm not a teacher. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a financial advisor. It's not my job. It's their job. You know, and it's the same thing. Same policy with my card. You know, if I'm there forcing this product down someone's throat to buy at that price, then yes. If I'm not, then it's just there. It's up to you, right? You know.
And realistically, like all our knowledge is worth a lot. Like, so we can't just give you everything on a silver platter. Like, for example, I did games design at uni. It doesn't mean you deserve a game off me for free. You know what I mean? I spent my time and my money learning that thing. We've all spent our time and money learning Pokemon. We know in the market. We get it. It doesn't mean you deserve that off us. Go do your own research. Find out what you can from the stuff we do share.
Yeah, that's just general advice, really. And I mean, just sometimes just appreciate the things that are there because they are integral and that they are honest. You know, how bad would it be if we weren't the people here in a different way? Not again, you're right. It does sound braggish, but like it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. And that's the way to think about it. Right.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go for it.
Would you say Randolph was trying to set a record price for a new Charizard?
God. I keep ruining these. Yeah. I keep ruining these segues, man. Just talk too much.
They're good though.
Yeah.
You're definitely getting.
Well, the thing is, I skimmed to the titles halfway through, and I'm like, oh, I've got one there, and I can't think of anything to say for the actual topic. I'm like, oh no.
Well, so I don't know what this is.
What is it?
The record price for the new Charizard?
I don't know this. What is this?
It's the Charizard from Shining Fates.
The VMAX Hyper Rare Charizard. Selling
what is
for
your price?
Big boy money.
Yeah,
I don't know how much it's worth.
It's sold on eBay. I think it's sold for 1,900.
Raw?
Immediately. I believe so.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not back from PSA, is it?
Oh yes.
No, even if you did a walkthrough, that'd be impressive. But yeah,
someone's got a time machine.
To be fair, someone did get one. They stole it.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did steal.
Oh yeah, not PSA though, because
yeah. You're right.
Oh, for goodness sake. Right, anyway, Charizard VMAX. It went for big money. This new card, and it's going to be interesting to see what is this. So 1,900 is like a big price for this card. So the other Charizards that come from the other sets, they didn't hit 1,900 immediately.
Oh, nice custom.
Right, so this tells you everything, right? This is Viridian Forest. Shout out to them, by the way. Good seller on eBay.
They have the best eBay listings ever. It's like just the the 4 trees. So sick.
Yeah, it's so sick. If they're listening for this much, right? Like, you know, I'm not saying it's going to it's not going to stay on there, right?
It's sold for that much though. It's sold for that much in dollars, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
let me go sold.
Yeah, it might be an eBay.com kind of thing.
Oh yeah, hold on, let me.
But I mean, there's a few up there already. There is a few
there
up there already.
Yeah,
£900. Oh wow, it's not even dollars.
And again, just to be transparent, you know, I feel like we have to talk about this as if it's crypto now. We're not financial advisors. This could be a shill listing. We don't know. No one knows, right? This is why I don't touch prices much anymore. We don't know. You know, this could be, he could buy it himself.
He could have bought it himself and he's got one that he's going to sell.
Who sold this?
WeTech.
All right, so maybe we'll make it more user-friendly, content-friendly, and talk about why is it the fact that these first-to-market Charizards, everyone knows they're going to go down in price. It's not a release.
Yeah,
you know, they will go down in price a little bit because people supply them. Why the hell do they sell for so much in the first week? What's going on with that? Like, everyone knows they're going to be cheaper in 4 weeks time.
FOMO. It's literally just that. I think it's the same thing when anything new comes out. You get very excited. You go, impulse buy every single time. And I think people have got more money than they've got sense when it comes to this stuff. Like, I think people aren't thinking, what's this going to be worth? People are just thinking, I need it.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me right now, by the way?
Hear you?
Yeah, because the call is like got some buffering issues, and you guys were speeding up and slowing down. Like, say something.
Oh,
you're back now. You're back. Yeah, bro. So it was so funny. So Tom was like ranting, and Connor was like, "They're like this, still talking." It was all out of sync. But I didn't want it to continue if like you weren't actually here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Like we saw it. Right? Famous example: Charizard GX from Hidden Fates, and right. So Charizard Hidden Fates, Shiny GX, BGS Black Label. Right. Someone took that, Black Labeled it, and it went for like $10,000, right, straight away. And everyone was like, "That's ridiculous. That's stupid." And what happened? It tanked. We literally saw one on PSA, PWCC last month go for like 7,000, very very close to that original price, right? And so what does that show you? That shows you that cards do go up straight away. They go down quickly when more people pull them, and then they slowly go back up again. It's supply and demand, and it's the nature of markets, blah blah blah.
Well, that was the first shiny Charizard since the Gold Star, right?
I believe so.
So just
the Gold Star.
Took them 15 years or something to release.
Yeah,
that card, like a shiny Charizard. So that one was always going to be like hype set. I'm surprised that this one, even though the art is so much nicer, is so much more expensive than the full art was.
Yeah.
That's a good shout. But I think we all agree that this card is great, right? So therefore, and this card isn't even officially released yet, so there might be that premium. And I think there are going to be people who just want to get this out for grading quick as possible as well.
Wonder if we'll see any on Friday.
I'm sure we will. To be fair, so like that's going to be a big factor. Is that they're going to get this jump in the queue, not necessarily for grading, but also the fact again we're talking about actually having the card, right? Mm-hmm. So you have it now. It doesn't matter what happens to the price. You own it. How rare is this? How rare is this in Shining Fates?
No one knows.
So yeah, no. I think
we haven't seen the pull rates enough.
I think it's not. I don't know how pull rates work, by the way. Just again for full transparency, I don't know how Pokemon figure it out. The reason Shiny Charizard GX was so hard to pull, and again, it's the look, right. You can pull it in the first pack, or you can pull it in the 10,000th, right? But like in that one, there was only GX, right? There's no V. There's no G in GX. It was just GX, right? So in the full art GXs, you had like 40 or 50, I think, or maybe less, 30, let's say, of those SV full art cards. So if you pull one, if it's even, you've got a 1 in 30 in that example chance of getting that Charizard, right? In the Shining Fates, there's not that many VMAX shinies.
Right, okay.
So if you get a VMAX, like you've got a 1 in however many. Yeah, and I don't know if that's how they work it out, but I assume it is because it would make sense, wouldn't it? Like they print Vs, they print VMAXs,
I think there'll be a higher rarity than the V though, so I think it'll be like a tiered rarity thing.
Yes, that's true as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So that.
So it's hard to pull a VMAX. It's hard to pull a baby shiny. It's harder to pull a
shiny V.
Shiny V, then harder to pull a shiny VMAX. But if you do get that draw of getting that shiny VMAX, you've probably got a better chance of getting the Charizard in that lottery, right?
However, they will be available, right? Like these things are going to be openly available. They're going to be open. You said the same thing about Shining Fates, how you allocate it. So you've just told these people wait until, because we will get them, right? We will get them.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a thing over 6 months potentially. These will hit the supply chain. People will open up, get their big pull, and they'll put it on eBay. I graded or not, it doesn't really matter. Like these things will hit the supply chains. So it's going to be.
Anyone's going to pull one and stick it in a binder without grading it?
Yes.
Do you think that's going to happen within the first 3 months? You do?
Yep, because I did it with Champion's Path, right? So I got so frustrated with that set, and I was like, you know what? I'm putting my binder because I got multiple. I pulled quite a few, so I put them in my. I sent some to you guys. I put some in my binder. But there's one shiny V, right? I don't think I've even sent you one, a shiny Charizard V, the full art. I just put it in my bind. It was the last card I needed. I was like, you know what? Putting it in my bind.
Stay there. That's. I guess you can do that if you're opening up so many. So yeah, I think you're right. I think people will still put this in a binder. I think there's a lot of binder collectors out there. To be fair, I think they haven't got a voice as much as maybe they should.
I love seeing that stuff on Instagram. If I scroll down and someone's got like a specific set in a binder, and like you can swipe through and you can see like 12 pages or whatever, and you're like, oh, these are all sick. It's such a nice feeling. Even when we met up with Marcus and he showed us his Gyarados binder, I was like, oh, I didn't know some of these cards existed. And then like all the different variations and stuff. I think it is really nice to see a binder, especially because we see PSA cards every day.
You can go and get them at Pokerand, right?
Yeah, Pokérand.net.
Go and get some binders. They look good. There we go.
Get a card if you want to grade your card and get it in a beautiful slab in a gem at 10 and go grade a gem.
Yeah, have you got a PSA graded card binder yet where you can put like slabs in?
Ooh, maybe we've got to make it, you know?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Cut that out of the video.
Yeah, go on.
No, so again, like, this is not financial advice again. I feel like we have to say that now these days. And it's important. And that's a different subject, but like, you see how like crypto guys do that, right? And stock people do that because they don't want to be responsible for people losing money. YouTubers are doing the opposite and worse. Like they're actually lying to people. Not only are they saying this is not financial advice, this is not, you know, what you should go and do and act on, they're also preaching prices and stuff. That is honestly, I think I need to do more videos on it. It's so. I think that aspect of Pokemon is literally like borderline illegal right now. Like I think it's dangerous. But you know, as someone who speculates on the market, as someone who like looks at cards, right? I would say what you said there, kind of like someone's bought this card for £1,900, right? Whether that's a shill, could be. Whether it's not, whether it's real, we don't know. But whatever it is, it looks like it is, right? This card in 30 years, right? In 10 years, could be worth more than £1,900 raw. You know, go and buy right now. So in my example of the Charizard VMAX, right? If someone wants that card really bad for the price I listed it, £500, they bought that card. Could drop, right? Could go lower in price for the next 2-3 months. But then in 5 years, who knows where it could be? It could be higher than that, you know. And if you want that card in your collection and you don't care about investing, you don't care about flipping, you want that card and you buy that and you keep it in your collection, you'll probably reap the benefits from it long term, right? And it might go down. We don't really know. But
this is an important time in Pokemon. So the cards that are coming out now are likely to have importance and therefore people will want them. There's a reason why Diamond and Pearl stuff and Heart Gold Soul Silver stuff is cheaper. Like realistically, it's because less people were involved. There was less engagement. People didn't care as much. And as much as I like to love these primes, it's not because I have a personal thing for primes. It's because I love the big heads and it was really simple. And you know, and that's the whole point. Like there's a reason why, in my opinion, and this is, again, not financial advice, these cards are more likely to have value over time because of the engagement. You know, people link Hidden Fates with you. They'll link Hidden Fates with the Mass. They'll link stuff with the Logan Paul. You know, they're going to link these cards to those memories, and that's what you're buying. What was the guy? The guy said it, didn't he, in the card shop to Logan? We sell memories here.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So, you know, there's a reason why Level X is not as cool as VMAX is.
Well, you see it with not just Hidden Fates and Randolph. You've also seen it with, because obviously you did that for like a period of what, 4 or 5 months at least or something.
Yeah, opened.
Yeah, Max with the Burning Shadows, he did that for 2 years and then ended up having to do a big video. Every time I see that Burning Shadows Charizard, the hyper rare on Facebook, people go, "Oh, I can't believe you got it. It took Max 2 years." Every time. Yeah. Every single time.
Yeah, and it's but also, by the way, you know that Hidden Fates, right, was available every single month that I was opening it. I didn't have a stash of it. I went online. I went Chaos Cards, and I ordered one, and then I ordered another one.
We opened 50 day one, and no one got allocated anything.
No, so that's the difference between. That's the difference. It's so crazy how it's changed. It's just mental, you know. But then you take that, right? Take the value of, I mean, even PSA 10 shiny Charizard GX still, I don't know, what, like £1,000, £1,500 perhaps, roughly. There's
value attached to it.
So look at this Charizard, right? The attention now, it's better. It's in the sense that it's newer. You see, Scott's always like, oh, the older, the rarer, the better, right? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's also in the same breath in modern is like it's newer, it's cleaner. Well, I don't know.
I think the whole VMAX versus the Level X proves it's not true. Like I know that sounds silly, but like that is older, that is rarer, that is mintier. So therefore, it's not true. Like it is correct for the real Watsy stuff, and I can see where he's got the saying from. Because
for sure, yeah, he's right.
Yeah, but like. Now the market's changed, it's shifted, the fundamentals have changed. What people are interested in isn't what they were interested in a year ago. The whole everything has changed. You're right, it's a different ball game now, and he did a video about having to adjust, and I don't want to keep bringing it, but you have to adjust. You have to look at what is it that your goals are, what is it that you want to get market you want to be involved in. What are you happy to wait for so long at PSA, and what are you going to get back quicker? So it's totally changed. Changed.
It's kind of like two markets. Like obviously they're linked, but the Watsy market always existed, and it included the little modern bits, the kind of stuff that you'd do where you'd buy new stuff, but then that's still there, and that's stupid money now. That's like $1 million base set box. But the modern thing that was just kind of a trickle is now like it's its own fully developed thing.
It's its own market.
Yeah, but the danger as well in that though is that right, we can look at Watsy, we can look at the old cards, and you can always look back, right? You can always look at history, and you can look at trends and what happened. You can't look into the future. So that's the difference as well. You can make if you're looking to make the right decision, you can't make the right decision in the future because you don't know what's going to happen yet. You can't invest in stocks and know it's going to. Yeah, it's blind faith, right? So that's why I don't like when people sell the dreams, because even what we're talking about here, we're saying maybe this car's going to go up, right? We don't know. We can't say that. Whereas you can say that, you can say that.
It'll be 30 grand by Christmas.
Exactly. You can say that this card takes off a mask.
Good. A ball cap, yeah.
But we can look at the Shiny Charizard GX, and we can look at how that acted over a space of time. We can look at say Level X's and look at how nothing's saying that the VMAXs that are worth £200 now, the Rillaboom Gold could be worth £5 in 10 years, in 6 months. We don't know. That's what I don't like when people say that. Oh, this is going to happen. You just don't know, right? So if you're asking someone where you're going to put your money, I'd still say do the older rarer thing, because it's proven, right? Like you can look at it, you can look at research, you can look at historical graphs, right? And you can also say that it's out of print now, right? So what's out of print? That's one of the biggest pulls to it. They could go and reprint Evolutions, they could go and reprint Shiny Fates into the ground until everyone has got a Shiny Charizard VMAX, which they probably will do, right? But we can only presume or predict. We can't,
Yeah, we're not on Pokemon boardrooms, right? So we don't have a clue what they're thinking.
You guys not?
No, I didn't know you were. Oh. But Guru is, so that explains it. But like it's difficult to yeah, you're right. Realistically, we're not giving advice here. You make your own actions, and that's totally up to you. What we are giving on is experience of the market before. Yeah. And I would say there's been a fundamental shift, and that's what I see. I now see Detective Pikachu Charizard's GXs I sold for £35 PSA 10s, and it's not like they flew off. Like they didn't leave the store immediately. Like it was a trickle. That's how that worked, and then I reinvested it into other things. This now is new territory. Yeah, that is not something I would have seen a year ago. So I don't have the hell of a clue what's going to happen. However, I do see there's more engagement. People are interested, so therefore, this has reason. It has value. So it's a hard one, to be honest.
At the end of the day,
I wouldn't want to be a new collector.
No. Well, what we always say as well is this goes back to all the trading card talks. Is just collect, right? If you collect, you can never go wrong, because if you're someone who buys this card right here to make money, it's a risk because of clear market indicators, right? It's not out yet. It's the first one here. There's going to be plenty more coming out. The price will naturally, because of supply and demand, will drop, or we presume it will drop because of more on the market, right? The difference is if you're a collector, right? Put yourself in this person's shoes. He might want to be the first person to ever buy a card, this card, right? He might love this card so much that he doesn't care about opening packs. He doesn't care about going. He just wants the first card he sees. If he collects that and makes that decision and he doesn't care about where the price goes, he cannot lose. He just can't.
He's got a segment on the first edition podcast too.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
it people talk about it, right? So people have done videos on this already. And maybe that is part of it. Maybe they like the fact that, oh hell, yeah, do you know I bought that? Like these guys talked about it for 20 minutes. I bought that.
In Champions Path, right? Champions Path, I went and bought like 100 packs of that before it come out because someone in Norway had some. Because some shop in Norway listed them early, so I went and paid like a lot. I was paying like £50 per double, box. And keep in mind, I was getting those boxes wholesale for much cheaper than that. So if I wanted to make a decision of wait a week and wait 2 weeks and open them, I could have saved myself a lot of money. But what did I want to do? I wanted to be the first person to get the charizard on YouTube, and I wanted to be the first person to get those views. And that's one. I wasn't the first person, but I was one of the first, and that's what I did. Right? That's what I spent the money. I looked at the value, and I was like, I want to spend that to get that outcome. This person might be doing the same, or whatever reason it is. It doesn't matter. It's that person's reason.
There's value to being first.
I've just noticed that card went for £1,900, and they still charge £2.50 delivery economy.
we do that on poker. What probably that is probably just like we do it on poker for our breaks.
Yeah.
The default, yeah. Like we'll send like a £1,000 base pack at the time, and it was like Josh was like, "Why are you charging me £150 postage?" But we'll send it special. We'll send it like insured. But it's just the default one there,
Yeah, it just tickled me.
It is funny, but I guess I think that the best advice is just to collect. And if you do want to invest, and if you do want to flip on anything, then that's your risk, and you win, you lose. But that's going to be up to you to do your research and make that risk.
I think trying to find investment advice on a public forum like YouTube, it's a bit kind of dumb because if everyone invests in the same thing, like. Yeah, you're never going to get that big win. Like, and not in the same way. Like, you want to be the person who's finding the investment. You don't want to be going, I'm going to follow literally everybody else that's following this person who's saying this thing, because it's that person that's winning.
Oh,
that person winning because they've already done it.
Yeah, there are so many people on YouTube as well. Like, and I'll say, hand on my heart, you can believe me or not, I do not shill things on YouTube, right? I don't have the interest to, and I don't want to.
Which is good.
I shill a good service, which is just which is what's that, word of mouth. It's just it's doing the right thing. But there are a lot of people on YouTube who shill on purposefully, and in the end of the day, it's a good business move for them. If they've got 100 of this card and they say go and buy this card, right? What's gonna happen? The price gonna go up. They're gonna get rich off it, right? So you have to understand that most people you're watching on YouTube are saying this so they can make money. Most courses that you see on Facebook advertising saying, go and do dropshipping, go and do, advertising. What are they doing? They're making money off you. So it's.
See, I see those adverts, and I always find it weird, but they must be making money from somewhere because they keep putting the adverts out.
They make money from them.
Yeah, that's what.
From selling the courses.
No, but that's what I get. Like, I don't really get why you take those courses. Like, surely you must know if it made money, they'd be doing it. They wouldn't be telling everyone else how to do it.
Yeah,
that's not how it works. Like,
well, it's like all these schemes on it, like Juice Plus and stuff. That like you go onto Facebook and you see everybody's trying to sell this new drink that makes you lose loads of weight, and everyone's doing the same thing. But like, it always happens. But if people see an opportunity, and it doesn't matter like how intelligent you are or anything. Like, if someone markets something well enough, it will take you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna buy anything pretty much with this little guy's face on it. If it's 20 quid, sick. If it's 150 quid and I have to pay it to get like a jacket with his face on, still gonna probably do it. Like, the marketing works. If you sell someone the dream, that's still marketing. If they think, oh, maybe I can earn money, like, it's those people being shady assholes. That's all it is.
Yeah, and
you do come out with the big freaking words, don't you? Right at the end, you're just like blah 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 blah, shady assholes.
That's true, though, man. Like,
you know what I mean?
If you're going to chill it and pretend you're selling everyone, oh, you're going to make loads of money if you invest in this card, just because you've got loads of that card, like,
and someone will post the gurus who do sell their schemes, right, or their courses. They'll show like a Shopify dashboard of their last month's sales. But those sales will be what they're selling to you. It won't be what they're selling. They're saying, oh, go and buy a toaster from China and dropship it to America. They've not made 500 grand a month doing that. They've made 500 grand a month of you, you know.
Or
And the worst
just
one
inspected the source and changed the amount they've earned.
and the worst person is the one who sells a course to people who to sell a course. That's a pyramid scheme at that point. And I'm not trying to say everyone on YouTube is bad, because I find it hard in a situation. So what? I can't say I like this card now because it's gonna. I'll shill it. Whether I want to or not, I will be shilling that card, right? Because it's a sick artwork. I love this card. People are gonna go buy that now. But people are doing it for the wrong reasons. People are doing it for the right reasons. You just got to be careful. The end of the day is, and this is where like the scalping thing comes into a really tough world as well. Is because, listen, it's a wise decision from the business person to do that, right? Like the person selling that course, that's morally wrong, but they're doing it, right? And it's working because you're believing it. You know, you're not doing your due diligence and you're not doing your research to not get caught. You're getting caught, right? So if you're someone who can get shilled, you're going to get shilled, right? So it's up to you to do the research, listen to this podcast and do as much as you can to be the best. If you're going to put money into Pokemon or put money into anything, you have to learn it, right? You can't go to like a hospital and be like, yo, I'm applying for the surgeon role without going through 8 years of like, a degree, because you don't have the qualifications. So you can't go and buy cards and sell cards and put money into cards if you don't know what you're doing. So do the research. It's so important. Because at the end of the day, like you can't blame the person for shilling, because if the opportunity is there, it's there. You can say that person's not ethical, they're not morally making the right decision. You can have a go at them, but at the end of the day, they're doing it, right?
If they've got a customer.
And Scalping, I bought a PS5 for like £700 or £650 because I needed it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was willing to pay that price. I needed it for a series I was doing, so I went and bought it. Like, yes, I've supported a scalper, but I needed it. I couldn't get it from Game. I tried. Couldn't get it from Amazon. I tried. Where did I go? I went on eBay. So that person who's scalping it has identified, an opportunity. Oh, hold on a second. I can go and get this box for this. And it's wrong. It's not ethical. Yes, but
you didn't have the time to do it. You
didn't have the time to do it. No.
You didn't have the time to wait for the game, pre-order, because you're doing other stuff. You're doing other important stuff. And at the end of the day, £200 more for you doesn't particularly matter. You know what I mean?
Especially for the series I was doing. I'll make the money back because exactly.
So therefore, it totally it makes business sense for you and it makes business sense for them. So therefore, win-win situation, and that's how these sorts of things happen, isn't it? Right? Because it makes sense to do these things, and that's why it's so difficult to totally go, you're a scalper, how dare you do that? Because at the end of the day, opportunity is there. If a customer's there, then why can't this person go and get that customer and get them to do that thing? It is
because if they hadn't done it in the first place, the stock would have been there and he could have bought it at retail. I wouldn't have paid £700 for my Christmas present to my brother, which was a PS5. Like, I would not.
Yeah, but you had the time to do it.
Yeah, but I didn't.
No, but
exactly. It's not right. It's definitely not right.
It's not right. We're not saying it's right.
No,
because what you're doing as well is what we're describing here is just capitalism, sadly, and it's how the world, how our world and how our country is built on, which is sad. But
we're not waving the scalper's flag.
No, I think
we're just saying
one of the things that annoys me
there's reasons
they're
for
gonna do it in ways as well, which doesn't benefit the country. Like, they're gonna do everything they can to avoid tax. They're gonna do stuff like, you see it on Facebook, it's like our cash in hand only, and it's like you're earning 200 quid a time. Like, that's piling up. You're probably not giving that to tax, and so that stuff rolls me up, I think, more so as well, because they're just not giving anything back to anybody. They're just take. And
it's like in Pokemon's example, what would fix this? What would fix this is a mass reprint from Pokemon, right? But they can't necessarily do that because of COVID, or they can't do that because of this. Like,
it's never a simple fix like that. There's many things that have had big effects. Turnaround times. There's many things that have had big effects that these companies are trying their best to sort it out. But it's something that takes time. It's something that took us time last year to deal with the increased volumes. We had to employ people, and same with you. You had to do things. You had to scale up. Mm-hmm. It's not something you can go, do you reckon we need someone else today to help with the parcel volumes? You can't just go, we do. Mate, you come in and you sit here and we had a computer here.
What would happen if imagine we was like, yo, PSA, we need all of our returns back today, and they did it. Can you imagine what would happen if there was like, I don't know, 200,000 cards just come back and boom, on the market? Everyone's like, I want my cards back. What happens if everyone's cards comes back? What happens if Pokemon literally now just goes, here is 10 million units of each booster box we've printed in the past 3 years?
Yeah. It would break the market, and therefore there'd be no value. and
therefore people will quit the hobby. Like all these collectors who think they care about the hobby, now their collection's worth 10%. They won't stick around because guess what? They're in it for the money.
The podcast would be gone.
Yeah. But I think the lesson here is just play to the audience. You have to do your research, like learn as much as you can as your own person, because we don't have the answers, nor does any other YouTuber. And on both scales, we could be completely wrong, man. Like I could say, do not go and buy my box break because you will not get a PSA 10. Someone could get PSA 10, and I'm wrong.
They could.
But
They could still do it.
They could do that. I'd rather that than say you will get it and have break their dreams. So you have to do your research, and I don't think you're gonna hear something this brutally honest on a lot of platforms. So watch the podcast, come back here every week, watch this, subscribe to it, and take this in, because if you listen to us truly, then you'll get a lot of value from it. But if you don't listen and you just say, "Oh man, scalper, he's a flipper," then you're going to lose out. You're going to get hurt.
The thing is, we're not as invested as these people are in just the flipping side of it. As you said, because we're collectors, we built our brands and our businesses around other aspects, and that's been around for so long now. Like, we've got the trust, you've got the trust, where we don't have to rely on, we need this thing to make this money. We are that safety net for ourselves. Like, we built Graded Gem, you built PokeRound, and
the brands have value from that and trust.
So we don't have to care about going, you need to buy this card right now to make our card worth more money.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why we can be more honest about it. But that's all some people do have.
Yeah, and if that's all you have got, then it's not in your favor to be totally brutally honest. And you know what I mean? People make those decisions, and that's fair enough, because if they're reliant on that to put food on the table, I'm not going to start having a go at them. Like, realistically, there's not a chance that the guy, the PS5, he's made 200 quid because he needed to get food for his daughter. I'm not going to start shouting at him. I'll be like, all right, fair enough. You saw an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, it's a difficult balance. I think we've come back to this a lot, because flipper, collector, investor,
especially
scalper,
COVID. It's
it's been fogged. That it's not obvious what is what.
Scalping wouldn't exist if it wouldn't work, right? Yeah. If someone's there buying it, sadly, that's why they're doing it. So sorry to interrupt.
Thanks to this podcast, I get called a scalper at least like 5 times a week now as well.
Same, man. I was like, I bought a McDonald's. I bought a McDonald's case out of FOMO, because I was like, I want to open that, and I get called a scalper. I'm not selling it. Nah, I think it's on its way soon. I just want to open the packs, man.
But that's the whole thing again about us being totally transparent.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It just brings you open to it. Like, if you did it and you didn't mention it, you wouldn't.
Like
I've seen it on Facebook where people have, like, it's got to the point now where even like the scalpers are kind of being more open about it. Like, I saw a guy on Facebook, he'd got a case and he got it. I think it was either today or yesterday, and he was like, 14 quid a pack, call me a scalper you want, I don't fucking care, you're gonna buy
I saw that actually,
And I was like, fair enough. Okay. I usually hate on this kind of stuff, but yeah, fair enough.
But that's it's even working for them now.
Transparency is key, because it's like again, it just gets me in trouble because I shouldn't say this stuff like this, but it's like it's the selling the dream that is worse than selling the product. If you sell a product and be like, oh, this is the next best thing, if you open this like Champions Path booster box, like, you're going to get a Charizard, you're going to grade it at PSA 10, you're going to make like £1,000. That's like wrong. It's criminal, Yeah. But if you're saying open this box for fun, then it's like, well, then it's collect the box,
It's very easy for me to get more cards in for grading. What? You've got this Team Rocket set? Oh my goodness! Get it all in quickly.
Exactly,
we need it. You'll make so much money if you get it to us. We'll deal with all of it. Don't worry about it. I could flood this place with cards, man.
I want to get my Team Rocket set, bro.
Yeah. Like, I can. What? You've got that?
Well,
No.
It's like those. Have you ever seen like in films? Where they've got those big convention things in America, and you've got one guy going like, "Do you want to be like me? Do you want to get all the women? Do you want to have the money and the cars and all that stuff?" Like a Yes Man and stuff. The film. Where it's like, I can make you the sickest person. No, you've just charged me $200 for a ticket to watch you speak shit for an hour.
Yeah, literally.
It's just
this podcast has gone whole nother levels out there, guys, by the way. But hopefully you're enjoying it. It's good fun. And it's actually relevant to Pokemon and the Pokemon market. Like,
that's what happens at 1 a.m.
Yeah, but those sorts of behaviors happen in the Pokemon market. Yeah, I think... but
I didn't know it was 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's been a really good episode, to be fair. Like, and talking through issues that maybe aren't spoken about, and the transparency, the true flipper, collector, investor. Those are themes that have come up around these other clips that that you'll make as well. So
yeah,
I think it's been really good.
And please don't hate us, guys, for being this honest, because like we've said, it would be in all of our best interest if we didn't do this, so please understand that. And I think again, the internet's a hard place, because those who do value it and they do get that, and that's the majority. It's the vocal minority who have a complaint, or and they're the ones that are just like not worth listening to, but we do listen to them. How I do. That Facebook thread really just didn't matter to my life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because you care. Like, if someone calls us crap, we care. You know what I mean? We're like, well, why the hell do you call us crap? Well, you know what I mean? We've done everything we can. What's your problem? And then they tell us it, and then we're like, well, no, that's not a me problem. That's a you problem. But I still have to care about what you're saying.
That's because it's our lives as well. Like, an insult's a graded gem. Doesn't feel like that. It feels like you're personally going, Tom, you're a dick. And I'm like, whoa, what have I done? Or kind of like,
I call you that every day.
Anyway. Oh yeah.
But then again, it's a gift and a curse, right? Because you're so transparent, people trust you, rightly so. Because I speak my mind, people will trust me, and rightly so, because I'm trustworthy. I'm as real as I can get. And that's not I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I don't know how I can be more honest than I am now.
It's attached to you.
Without giving you my actual tax return, my my bank account balance. I don't know what more I can give people.
Imagine taking your bank account. I'll take
guys, please.
Have it all.
Well, I was thinking of a way we could start ending the podcast for people who get all the way to here, all the way to the end. And I was thinking, what as a little ending segment, what is coming up on the channels in the following week? So obviously this airs on the Friday. Do you know if you've got any cool things coming up? Oh, we do. We know what we've got coming up.
What you got?
So we've got our normal schedule of Mondays TCTs, where we're going to talk about something that's probably already been talked about in the
trading card talk.
On Thursdays we got the takeover for the what next week is Tins, right? V Power.
V Power.
I can't remember exactly what they're called.
Be there.
Sunday, there's an opening. It's a Tom opening of maybe some Digimon, some tag all stars, some, that's not
catch them all.
And some tag all stars, sponsored by Pokérand. But I'm more interested in Mr. 500k subscriber over here. I want to know what you've got coming out in the next week. Have you got any big plans for the upcoming week?
Pressure on me now. Well, we do have mine and Simon's base set grades come back. So you're gonna see my half of the box, and you're gonna see Simon's half of the box. 2 Charizards.
Does this mean we can do
our
return soon?
Yeah, you're so close to being able to actually post your return video. Listen, I
got them soon.
Yeah, I got to spread them out, guys. I got to spread these PSA returns. In fact, I've actually posted them too quick, because I've had days where I've I don't know what to film tomorrow. Put Zerka reacts to his PSA grades up quick. But
they're doing really well though. They're good
especially
to watch.
when you change it to a 10 in the thumbnail.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, bro, it's marketing, man. Deal with it.
I love it. I love a good clickbaity thumbnail.
Yeah.
What else have you got?
Are you alluding to something, by the way? Do you know something that I don't? Are you just asking?
Didn't you film a video today?
Yeah, but that'll be already out by the time. That's gonna be out before this is out. That's the thing. Is that what you're trying to get at? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but also I want to know, mainly because I'm excited about all the cool stuff.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, whoa! How rich are you? Was that a great fit?
Oh yeah, this is a great fit. Bro, I told you, I texted you guys, right? Look what I found in my drawer.
Randolph found a hidden gold mine. He basically found a basic first edition box.
I found a pack of great fits.
Whoa, that's sealed.
I know.
How much do you want for that,
bro? For that eBay, man, you'll get bank.
I can now send cards to grade.
But yeah, I was just thinking because I saw it in other podcasts. How can we get people excited to go and see everything else that we're doing in the week? If you want to see more of us, obviously there's the clips, but you've already watched the podcast if you've got all the way to here.
We'll watch them again because they're very knowledgeable. Well, not very knowledgeable, but they're very interesting. That is me. Just full disclosure, I am shilling our podcast now. that was a shill. Come watch us.
So obviously, the What's Good podcast as well. Go watch that if you need to listen to more of Randolph's voice.
I love how we're shilling that. You know how big that is.
No, but
it really
does. I'm in deep waters, man. I messed the audio up twice in a row. I exported Simon on such a low volume, and then the last one we had a guest on Ellum, and it's a new studio, right? So the wiring is different. So I cabled a wire into the interface, but it had interference with the other wire, so all the audio is just like this. So I had to edit that out and mix it. I spent 3 or 4 hours today mixing audio.
Oh, that's horrific. Yeah. That was so nice.
Yeah, so there's really good videos.
But check it out
for Randolph. Yeah, go check that out. And yeah, Graded Gem will upload when it wants to upload, so that'll do
when
stuff.
When it can upload.
Yeah, when it can upload. The editing time takes ages.
And is it going to be the 1 million sub, or is it going to be the 2 million sub milestone? When are we getting you doing the Pokemon rap, man? When are you doing the Poke rap?
I don't know. Well, Post Malone's kind of like making me want to do it quicker now, because apparently now my worlds are colliding, and you got Universal dropping a Pokemon album. So yeah,
it's where you become Pokemon.
Pokemon, yeah, legit. We should have spoken about that. We should have spoken about Post Malone next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching.
Appreciate it. See ya. Bye.
Take care.